Something at the edge of space, calling us to fly away.
And Mirage yesterday versus G2 didn't really go their way, so he's loving this. Gets a free cash pick in there, which is a weak point for Liquid alongside Overpass probably. The two maps, they don't really play that much. I think they tried to introduce cash into the pool, but not sure how far along they are with that. And Liquid again vetoing Cobble, so this is where Renegades are probably going to get rid of Inferno, and we have Mirage as the third map.
Yeah.
Assad was expecting an Inferno pick from Liquid because NAF knows that they don't play Inferno, and Liquid plays it occasionally. But again, Liquid probably, because NAF was just added recently, they don't want any funny business to try and play towards their opponent's weaknesses. They think, we're the better team, let's just play what we're comfortable at and we can beat them on any map.
So first question, when you see Train, and not only have we seen very little from Renegades, just 3 maps played, but 100% win rate, stats, boom.
Yeah.
They have beaten Cloud9. Now let's not forget that Cloud9 are quite the hard hitters on Train, so we'll read into that as much as you want to. But we did see most recently, that was actually just yesterday, we saw Liquid take on Astralis on that map. What did we learn from that, gentlemen? Can you remember? Cast your minds back. You've seen a lot of Counter-Strike.
Yeah, I think it was, no, I remember. It was Astralis really taking care of business. You know, they were very, very disciplined in the way they played. Because on that second map, Inferno, they had the advantage and they let it slip away a little bit. So Astralis was simply the better team. Liquid seemed to have been struggling a little bit with, you know, the jet lag, looking a bit out of it and all of that. The problem is here, NAF really is a huge factor for, or was for Renegades, and is a huge factor in this matchup because he was by far the most impactful player in that team, barring a couple of games where Nifty was playing really well with the op, right? Because he was getting all the impact kills, like the big moments where Renegades were struggling the most, the 4v4 situations mid-round, the after-plan situations, the clutches. He was the guy for them in all of those rounds. And sure, Jacob is not a bad player or anything. Good stand in there for someone you need for a couple of events to pug a little bit, and you know, good mechanics and all of that. But they don't have that guy anymore who's going to make the difference in big games.
Yeah, Naf was an all-rounder, and like the thing that he brought the most was being a closer in certain scenarios. Sure. Not necessarily winning the clutch, but actually getting the kills to win the round.
The kill that swings the round.
Usually that's like JKS, right? But he's just better at JKS at doing that.
Yeah. Yes.
Or more consistent.
Well, what's interesting, just because, you know, we are getting to see a bit of a kind of grudge match. You said it looked like a fighting game. You have got a player that has just left for greener pastures, now stop, you know, battling to take away another best-of-3 win.
Can I just say, if these two teams had a physical fight, Renegades would win.
That's, I'm sure
well,
that's
they have
thing.
a Serbian on the team. That's a no contest.
Well, Carlo's pretty big. Aaron's pretty big. Jacob is decent size. Justin's probably no slouch. Nifty.
No, I reckon Justin's
all about
agile.
the size, Chad.
Well, okay, so who have Liquid got? They got a Liege.
They got Zeus.
They do have Zeus.
Look, if this was an MMO, JKS is the rogue, Ustilo is like the warrior.
Who's DPSing? Nifty.
Nifty,
I
obviously.
don't think you put it that way. I think you just have Steel and Zeus on one side versus Carlo and Assad on the other side.
2v2.
Yeah.
The Croats and the
All
Serb getting together.
All the other guys are like...
It's like a romance story.
They can't fight. Look at Justin.
Aaron's a pretty big boy, but
punch anyone.
Aaron's a pretty big boy.
Moving away from the violence in real life and to the violence on the server.
Let's talk about that.
I think as well, when you look at this particular match and you look at NAF, I think it was pretty obvious that NAF was never going to be a long-term Renegades player, right? I think It was obvious since the moment he joined, and probably obvious for his teammates as well, that he's there to play, right? Obviously, he's going to try very hard, help out the team. But unless they become a real contender and get on the level of Cloud9 and Liquid, he is going to move to a better team eventually.
Well, we have to remember, Renegades won the last Star Ladder event.
Yeah, in China.
They're the defending champions.
Yeah, Star Ladder Island.
Yeah, so maybe he should have stayed and they could have won 2 titles.
It's a maybe for sure, but either way, we do have
Anything can happen.
We do have got hold of some footage of a little bit of a Kassad telling us a little bit about how his expectations are for this one for the Renegades. The coach of the team, ex-teammate of our desk analyst Yanko. Let's check in with him.
Hello, everybody. I'm here with Kassad from Renegades, their coach. Firstly, how are you doing?
Well, it's all right. It's a nice event. I like it, so all is good.
Yeah, but maybe not the start that you'd hoped. You went up against the French powerhouses of G2, and it didn't go in your favor.
Oh, yeah, I agree completely. I mean, we had the maps that we wanted, but the teamwork wasn't there at all. During the whole match, we lost a crucial few rounds, like retakes and stuff, and a couple of force buys as well after we won some pistols. And that just teamwork wasn't there. We need to make sure today is the day when we fix that.
Yeah, and so going into this next matchup, what is it about teamwork that you guys are going to be doing differently?
Basically, working together in a 3v3 situations, 2v2 situation, post-plan kind of decision making and everything. You know, just that that stuff kind of lacked yesterday. So we talked about it and we're gonna fix it and we're gonna play better today.
All right, well, Kassad, you're a strong leader behind the guys, and I'm sure you've kind of given them some words of advice, and I hope you're ready.
Oh yeah, I'm feeling pretty confident today, so I guess we'll see what's gonna happen.
Well, there we go. Best of luck.
Thank you.
A belter of an interview there from Kassad and Parla. Now, what's interesting about that one is he's talking about the mid rounds. He's talking about those 3v3s, those 2v2s, and you guys cannot stop. You know, this is something you find yourself saying an awful lot is, you know, being better at post plants, being better in those 2v2s and 3v3s. Is that something you've noticed as well? Kassad's obviously aware of it.
I think for sure. I think even if you look back when Chad was playing on the team, right? I think even then Renegades would have like a good game plan. They would have like good strats, all of that stuff, and they would have like a 4v3 and the bomb planted. And then they would just like do something stupid, wouldn't play together, someone would peek for no reason, and the round would fall apart, and then you would get reset and lose a game, right? So I think that's the main step that differentiates like the tier 2 or the tier 3 from the very top. And it's become like a smaller difference in the last year or two because everyone's gotten so much better, started understanding the game on a higher level. But for Renegades, it's still the issue, alongside obviously the force buys, actually the anti-force buys, right after winning pistol or just in general throughout the game. They really seem to be struggling with that a lot. And I know Kassad personally, you know, it's something that we've struggled with when we were playing, so he's tried everything. But sometimes it's one of those things that gets into your head, right? You are worried so much about those rounds that you overthink them, and in reality, they should be fairly simple.
Exactly what Rabino was saying. The same problem with Heroic. They start getting in their heads when they know there's Deagles and CZs around the corner.
Well, you see the problem here, I think, for the Renegades guys, if we're talking like mental issues, and that came out really wrong. I'm not talking about them being mentalist by any means, but is the sense of this is the first time that a player has actually left the team to go to a better team.
They haven't experienced that before.
No, normally what tends to happen is like, so I retired, we got rid of Havoc.
Sorry, you left the team when you're with this better team.
That's true. They replaced Yam, they replaced Ricky. So like all those roster changes have been choices that they've made. This is the first time that someone's left them. And when someone chooses to leave you, Alex, that's when it hurts the most.
Good God, it always comes back, doesn't it? It always comes back.
The darkness.
Chatty B is bringing the dark cloud.
Friend.
Bringing the dark cloud. Yeah, and you know what? While we are talking about darkness, I have there's no connection there. The game versus G2
it was pretty dark.
Was pretty dark.
Times.
This Mirage game in particular was a whitewash.
Well, look, the mid-round situations that you guys are talking about is a thing that we struggled with back when I was in the team as well. And sure, look, we just had, I would just focus, you know, mainly on getting the strats down and dry running, that kind of stuff. We didn't spend too much time doing the theory in the post plants, which is my fault.
But no, that's the problem. That's not something you can like dry run a post plant because it's always so different. Like the positioning is different, the numbers are different, the health is different, the nades that you have are different, the time on the clock is different. So that's something that you learn as a player individually. That's called game sense, right? Yeah. That's not even like talking at some situation that you don't even have enough time to communicate. You just look at the radar, you know where you are, where your teammates are, who's got how much HP, right? And you know whether you need to be aggressive. Are you the one that needs to make a play? Are you the one that just needs to hide and live and bait out your teammates because you're in the best position to close out the round? And those are things that you obviously should learn over time, but if you're incapable of doing so, then either you're not as good of a player, because that's obviously a huge part of your skill set and you need to be replaced, or it's someone else on the team and you need to figure it out how to approach it.
Absolutely. And I mean, this is something that I always find very interesting when you see coaches come in, because I can't help but feel, and when I listen to you guys day in, day out, I start to build quite a clear picture of things you can't fix with words. You can't just walk in and say, hey, try and do better with those,
We need to fix Twist's chin hair, though. That is something which probably needs to be taken off relatively quickly.
And the thing is, that's a very specific thing to talk about, because it's so important, the post plans, the retakes, and all of that. And I know, because we've struggled with it a lot and tried so many different things, like tried me calling in all of those situations, like, you do this, you do that, but nothing really works as good as when you have people who know what they're doing, because then everything seems like easy, fluent. A guy knows whether he needs to throw you a flash or not. He can realize which position you are in. Obviously, mistakes still happen because things happen so fast and on the fly, but more often than not, it comes down to having players who are skilled enough and who have high enough of a game
And
sense.
you only have to look at the FaZe project to see what that looks like in action. Some of their first games, that Katowice run with Nico just joining the roster, already looked prime evidence of that.
But something that's also a major component of it that you saw in the grand final versus Cloud9 is calmness and cool under pressure, which is something that FaZe lost on that third map in the grand final, and that's another huge aspect of it, right? When the game is close, and those are the rounds that decide the game. It's not the strat that wins you a 5v2. That happens once or twice in the game, but it's always those close rounds and those decisions. So I think when you look at someone like Naf, that's one of the main reasons why he's such a good closer. Because the guy seems like cool as ice. Nothing really affects him. He just plays through everything.
He certainly does. He has been a bit of a bright spark. And talking of sparks, we do have Zeus. He's standing by. The coach of Liquid gave us some words.
All right, everybody, I'm here with the man himself, Wilton, also known as Zeus, the coach for Liquid. How's it going?
It's going pretty good. Feeling more energized today. New day, coming back with a different mentality and different game plan.
Yeah, it's fantastic to see you re-energized and feeling good. Let's talk about that matchup yesterday, though, against Astralis. It went to 3 maps. You clawed back on Inferno. What are you taking away?
On Inferno, we had a lot of resilience, tried a lot of new strategies, the way we were working our defaults and everything like that. Worked pretty well. We were jet-lagged throughout the match. It's kind of an unfortunate side effect, but we can't let that decide our fate. And if we just handle every other map like Inferno, which people saw as a weakness in our map pool, but we're here to show that it's not, that we play to each team differently into their strengths and weaknesses, I think we should be fine moving forward. We can take a lot from that match.
Yeah, and moving forward, you're about to play against Renegades. Give me some opinions on them as a team. How do you guys think you'll fare?
So Renegades is a domestic matchup, but we don't face against them too much. We faced against them at the major, but I was playing completely different situation there. They still had Naf, and we still came out on top. I think that after we took their best player, we should have all the situations in our hands to take care of this match quite swiftly.
Yeah, and so does that give you a bit of an edge over them, that you kind of took one of their players away in the form of Naf?
It gives a firepower edge for sure, but I'm sure they'll be getting for revenge for us for taking one of their players when they were doing so well with the results lately.
All right, well, we'll have to see how you guys do, and maybe if Jacob can fill the gap that you left them with once you took Naf. Wilton, any final words?
I hope he doesn't fill that gap, and then we go 1-1. I'm sorry, Jacob and Renegades, but today's our day.
Fighting words.
Today is the day, says Zeus. Team Liquid then looking to take him on. And I always find Zeus as a kind of as a person, as a player, as a coach, a very interesting kind of story. The fact that he had that hunger for playing, saw what that rendered, and then immediately returned.
I think he was lucky that he had a chance to go back as fast as he did. Usually it's like everything's going great for you, then you want to dabble with playing a little bit, and then you can't find a coaching gig.
Look, I'm just glad that people out there have gone to a position like coaching or like being an analyst and then tried to go back to playing, because they just show me that there's no way I should even bother picking up the mouse again. It's like, thank you very much for showing that that'll just be a massive failure and I'll help myself.
I'm coming back.
Someone's going to do it.
Yanko said he's coming
Someone's
back.
going do it successfully,
Not
and then you'll be
back.
sitting there like, ooh, you get
I'll
the
be
itch.
back.
Who
yeah?
are you coaching?
No, I'll be playing.
Oh,
Yeah,
okay.
get Yanko in the server.
In like
You
5-10
seen him
years
in
from
pistol rounds?
5-10 years.
Now. Yeah.
He's been fragging.
CS Universe.
No, when Nico wins a couple of majors, I could get him back on my team again.
Yeah, that's the plan.
Retirement tour.
Inferno, Mirage, Cobble, Cash Track. Well, these guys have played a variety of the map. Well, they played 5 of the 7 maps in the last head-to-head.
Yeah.
They played in the qualifier online for this event. Obviously, with NAF on the team, and they still had JDM. All of these results, we're going to go back to January as well. That was at the major. They some close ones.
Yeah, major on Cobble, that was the round. It was 15-14 for Team Liquid. It was not an ideal buy. Renegades were on the CT side. Someone runs out with the bomb on Liquid, so it's a 5v4 for Renegades, and they have the bomb on B, and they have 5 players there, and they lose the round, and lose the game 16-14. So
You hate to see it.
that was crushing. But yeah, in general, as Zeus pointed out, they are from the same region, but don't meet as much as you would expect. And obviously, with the most recent change, that kind of loses its significance to an extent. I think just based off of yesterday, how poorly Renegades played, you have to give the edge to Liquid.
Yeah.
What I am noticing, just while the numbers are still on screen, is note how close Renegades get every single time. You're rarely seeing, a struggle. You're rarely seeing these kind of 16-4, 16-5s where you really feel like there was a mismatch here. It just seems like Renegades can't close and can't get those necessary, a cheeky clutch to here and there to save the day.
Yeah, I think a weird thing for me noticing the team is I think the roles, especially when they had NAF in the squad, were actually pretty distinct. But now the problem is that NAF isn't there. Jacob isn't filling the same kind of role, or I don't think he will be. And then the consistency has always been an issue for me. I know you still as the ride or die entry fragger, and then Aaron for me is the second guy in making all those frags, and JKS is meant to be the clutch player coming in last. But the consistency in those positions never really seems to come to fruition.
Sure.
And I understand in Counter-Strike, right, if you're the entry fragger, you're probably going to be dying a lot more than anything. But when you can get onto a map, Keisha is a great example, the one we have coming up second. A player like Ustillo could have a game like we see Nitro have on that map, where he can just find a lot of freedom and find a lot of opening kills. So it's like not a coin toss in that regard, but it can be random if you find those timings and spacings if you're feeling it.
I think it's also important for the viewers at home to realize that when we talk about roles, those are not like set in stone. Ustillo, yes, he predominantly goes in first and is the entry fragger, the space creator for the team. But I believe in today's CS, you have to be able to do multiple roles at the same time, because you're not always going to call a set execute where you know who's going in first, second, third, and all of that, who's lurking. You're going to call a default, and then the in-game leader might pick whichever side, and you might be on the opposite side of the map one time or the other. Sometimes you will lurk, sometimes you will go in first. So you need to be capable of doing multiple things. And I think when you look at not just the best players in the world, but the best teams in the world and the composition of the team in terms of players that they have on the team, they are exactly capable of doing that. They are capable of filling a variety of roles, different options, whether it's picking up the secondary op and so on. So yes, we talk about, Taco, the entry fragger, and this, and maybe, Dupree for a while in Astralis wants to go in first, but in reality, you need to be able to do it all and to adapt to the situation. Sometimes the guy who's supposed to go in first has 10 HP, so that
He just ruins everything.
You're going to tickle him and he's going to be dead and not going to be able to do anything.
Can just throw a spanner in the works. It does sound like we've got a bit of a technical hitch over on the setup, which means we can start our podcast engines.
Well,
I have
you
a
know.
particular subject.
I hope. Fantastic. Let's do it.
Do you mind?
I'm really excited.
Okay, so it's a big question. Chad,
Yes.
we have seen North American region over a period of time in our careers. We've seen the North American region start to genuinely become a contender in the we've just got a North American major champion.
Yes.
You know where I'm going with this, don't you?
Continue. Let the viewers
What's
know.
going to happen, and is it possible for the Australian region, for the Oceanic region?
Okay, so in North
We
America,
can tie Asia in there.
in North America, there are roughly, and this has probably gone up quite significantly since the last time I checked the stats, 330 million people. We're not also including Canada, which they've got some humans too. And they have a lot of money. So within that region as a whole, there's a lot more players, a lot more people, a lot more talent. For Australia as a region, and we can even broaden that to Oceania, which includes New Zealand.
Let's just throw Asia in there. Then you think you've got.
Well,
plenty
if we
of
get
people.
to Asia, let me just get to. So we just said
that does change.
we just said 330 million people
Yes.
in the United States, right? In Australia, we have 24, or maybe it's 26 million people now. And to get from where I live in Perth to Sydney, it takes 5 hours. We are roughly the same size as the contiguous United States, with just a very small amount of the population. The point I'm trying to make here is we don't have as many players in our region to potentially have the same talent pool to draw from. We have a lot of players, we have a lot of teams, we have a lot of tournaments, but we need to have, first of all, we need to be playing in more competitive environments more often. So I think Asia is the key. I've said it in multiple interviews time and time again. If we could have something going on like a pro league within the Asian region, right, where somehow, with some miracle, we could be playing against China, Singapore, Indonesia, everyone, and if even you could have mixed teams within that region, right?
Damn, yeah.
Grab all that good talent, and then you could probably build a team within the region to compete against the rest of the world.
So just to follow on from that, one of the things that kind of instigated that success in the North American region was imports, bringing in European talents or South Americans moving to North America and starting to compete there.
I think the Brazilian mantra definitely helped a lot. Hearing from players like Jordan Nothing Gilbert, who said he used to have the picture of the SK guys when they were Luminosity or Kaboom or whatever, sleeping in the kitchen on mattresses on the floor, basically to start playing in North America, is a driving factor for the the rest of those guys who would have never looked at it that way. And then to see what they were able to achieve, accomplish, and now be the best team in the world consistently now for quite a decent period of time, that's a motivating factor in itself. And their approach to the game has been fantastic. The chance to get to play against these guys week in, week out, in Pro League, in ECS, in tournaments like that has definitely helped the growth of that region. And that's why, as Renegades, right, like we made the decision to go live in North America because we wanted to practice against better teams on a consistent basis. As you can see right here, the best version of Renegades has been with a guy from Canada and a guy from the US. So we've had to have imports within our own Australian team living in the United States.
Sure.
So domestic-wise, I think the best thing that could happen, and basically for all of Counter-Strike, would be if the whole Asian region, inclling or excluding China, I don't know if it matters too much, kicks off. Yeah, they have their own little region, right? Everyone else kicks off, and we have, more tournaments, more competitions there that can feed into bigger tournaments to compete on a more regular basis.
So the kind of long story short is it's certainly possible, but requires a huge amount of investment of time, resources, and a general kind of somehow nurturing a community that doesn't really exist.
Well, we have a lot of talented players, and we have maybe there's 3 or 4 teams at the moment right now that are all competing for that #1 spot within Australia. The thing is, though, that they have very few chances to go to these events to play. Order, the black logo with the little pink triangles, they just qualified for Katowice, right? But they're going to go to that event. They're going to learn some stuff, and then they're going to fly home. They're not going to get a chance. They're going to go home, and then everyone's going to learn what they learn off them. And sure, it's going to help the scene a little bit, but it's not on a consistent enough basis, like having an SK there who are basically revolutionizing the way that Counter-Strike is played week in, week out.
Okay. And sorry, Yanko, I realize you haven't weighed in on this conversation. If you'd like to step in now.
I think there are multiple factors included. I think it's very difficult to just show up from nowhere and become a contender, right? You need to be able to consistently compete and practice against the best to figure out how to play, right? I mean, the meta game in Australia is definitely not the same as it is in Europe or North America. And even if they try to copy it, it's one thing trying to copy what other people are doing, and the other thing is implementing it yourself, not just in Australia, but when you actually go and compete against those teams. So I think another thing, is also like when you look at talent and the approach and all of that in general, look at the avant-garde at the major. Like, I didn't hear about a single player, I'll be honest, ever. I mean, we mostly focus on Tier 1, Tier 2 tournaments. What we do, they haven't been on the radar at all. They show up, almost make the group stages, right? And with some amazing talent there. QBF, they were losing, as they put it, to Tier 5 teams online. They come in and get a legend spot. So there are examples of teams coming out of nowhere and leaving a mark. So it might also be a mentality issue within the region, in a sense that Australia, is a great country, has great quality of life, high standard of living. If you compare it, for example, to Brazil, why those guys work as hard as they do? Well, because they know to an extent that's their way out, in a sense. They would probably not be able to, have as good of a lifestyle, if they just stuck in Brazil and did whatever they went to school for or something along those lines. So that's why you work so hard, you have a lot of dedication there, you do whatever it takes because you know that that's the way you're going to be able to provide for yourself and your family, maybe a nicer lifestyle or something along those lines.
Considered it.
No, I completely agree with that as well. And when you look back, you look at 1.6, for example, we had Asian teams who played aggressively like these CIS teams did. We had like Astro, Lunatic High. Obviously, Astro was it Estra that became Wee Man Fox
Yeah,
or Lunatic?
Estra,
Whichever one.
yeah.
Then it was Tai Lu. And the thing is, sure, they were winning like only in, it was more domesticated tournaments, like especially the Chinese, but they had their own style because they couldn't practice against the European and American teams all the time. They just had to dry run and look at what, hey, how do we want to approach the game? And they were able to do that, I guess, because there wasn't as many tournaments and the meta wasn't as evolving as quickly as what CSGO does, for example. But I think, yeah, mentality plays a huge role in it. And in Australia, we're similar to the British mentality.
Interesting.
And I agree. I think there should definitely be more regional qualifiers, right? Like we had for Katowice, where now we are going to have Order in their team that you never seen. You go back to IEM Sydney, you know, we had the Chiefs, you know, upsetting, taking out, I think they were already North at that point in time, knocking them out of the tournament. And on one of their best maps, it was Nuke, as far as I remember. So that's obviously going to happen against Sydney. So that's another chance for these teams. They're getting more chances, and that's something that's really necessary. Now, maybe if that happens often enough, if we really get a sort of a pro league or some constant competition down in that region, then they can potentially develop for themselves, right? And get to a level, not necessarily where they can, you know, consistently beat the Europeans and the North Americans, but at least compete against them, right? And if you can do that, then it's going to raise the level of everyone within your own region, and then you can actually legitimately not even have to move. That was NA. NA was what Australia is now to an extent, right? They couldn't match any of the European teams for a long time. It's only in the last year and a half or so, where they really became contenders for winning tournaments, and they would always be a threat in tournaments. And this year, Cloud9, the way they're playing, they might be one of the main favorites for the whole year to win most of the tournaments. So it's going to take a while, but you have to start from somewhere.
And there's one key factor that we're forgetting is the money. In the sense of in Australia, right, you did say it's a good quality of life there. The guys who are playing professionally in Australia are technically only semi-professionals. The amount of money they're getting isn't enough to live off of. So you still need to either, you know, pursue a degree or have another job or something along those lines. So they're not able to dedicate, you know, 100 plus hours a week.
I feel like that kind of almost contradicts with what Yanko was saying, where, you know, there are players from these other nations like your Brazils and like, you know, we talked about Avanga, who obviously are still maintaining jobs and are going to have to keep doing that. They're not necessarily getting mad salaries as well. So I guess, I don't know, maybe that nullifies that?
I think it goes, I think what Chad's trying to make the point here is, for example, if you really think you're good and you really believe in it, you might take a year off of school or something if you're in the CIS or in South America, right, to pursue that, because if you can get to that top, if you can really get to competing, then it pays off like tenfold. While in Australia, you know, question is like, it's a huge gamble whether you can make it, and if you don't, you risk of losing way more, because with a normal job in Australia, you have a pretty comfortable life, right? You can provide for everything you need. You can do well for yourself, basically. So, in that sense, it's more
interesting.
difficult.
Well, I've enjoyed this, guys. It's been an absolute blast keeping the conversation alive, and I think I want to come back to this.
Yeah, we can do that. I'm sure we'll have more delays.
Absolutely, it's certainly a possibility. But it does look like everyone's in the server. Everyone's got smiles on their faces, and Liquid versus Renegades is going to be going down in just a moment. Train's our first map, and I'm sure this is a bit of a silly question, but anyone siding with the Renegades?
No, I think it's going to be too Liquid.
Okay, just making sure. Let's head on to the casters then. Renegades are in their huddle, and so are the casters. No strangers to a cuddle. It's the Creamy Bears.
He's got a good point there.
I feel like Alex has really stepped up his wordplay game for that segment. I was really impressed.
Yeah, he's he's firing on all cylinders. Definitely good stuff.
Yeah, he's really hitting a high note, I feel like. So Liquid and Renegades. Moses, have you ever? I had this thought. Have you ever tried just grabbing like a stick of butter and just rubbing it on your head? I feel like
what?
I feel like it'd just be perfect for it.
I haven't actually. No.
All right.
So maybe in the future.
If we just called it like for the sort of like.
Is this a weird fetish of yours?
I just think it'd be good for you.
Okay.
It should be like sort of like, you know, sort of scalp treatment or something like that. I feel like it's. I think it would
know, we can continue this because I know you said you didn't like Seinfeld. You haven't really watched the show. There is an episode where Kramer shaves with butter.
Really?
Yeah. So your favorite character doing your favorite fetish.
Yeah, I discarded the whole show from one episode with that guy. That might not have been a reasonable thing to do, but,
No,
but I did it anyway.
definitely not.
I'm quick to judge him. No second chances. Just get out.
Not at all.
I've never mentioned it because I know Henry really likes it, and I have sort of a crush on Henry. So you
didn't want to piss him off.
Yeah, I feel like it would create a bad vibe. So I didn't mention it. I just didn't want to upset Henry.
Well, the whole world knows now, so you're gonna have a lot of angry Seinfeld fans getting after you.
Yeah, bring them on. You know,
yep.
They're all gonna be like 35 or something. So I'll be fine.
Yeah, here's the cool thing. I mean, obviously the fun part of this is Naf going from Renegades to Liquid. It was a short stay in Renegades, but he was a big part of their success. Yeah,
absolute traitor. Yeah,
I don't know. I think that was kind of more of like a journeyman pit stop, right? After Optic, playing out the Optic contract and everything.
So you're saying he's a bit of a slut, really?
Yeah, it's fair.
Well,
reasonable.
I think, given that he wasn't in the team that long, it's hard to imagine that they're going to be really having sort of vengeful thoughts about bringing down Naf. I feel like that's unlikely.
Yeah. I think it's understandable. I think, especially if you get an offer from Liquid, one of the premier teams in the region, I think that obviously makes sense.
It slightly does. Liquid versus Renegades here. Map or game number 2 of day number 2 of the SLTV Stars series. Get your friends involved. Get everyone going. We've got 2 streams and a lot of Counter-Strike to come. Renegades on the T side. It will be Counter-Terrorist side for Team Liquid. And we have 1 HE grenades. No smokes either. Always interesting when that happens for Liquid. That means sort of defusing the bomb in the middle of A or B bomb site with no smoke can be really tricky. So remember that.
Yeah, really, you kind of have to bank on winning some of the initial fights. Twist just looks away, as it seems Renegades is going to start peeking out. Definitely here's the footsteps. Now they've picked up the pace, and that is a nice shot. That is a good start. Twist is going to fall back, still back towards mid, going to try and get more. He's exposed from different angles, but it won't matter. It's the one from the front that takes him out. Now wrapping towards the bomb train. Naf's going to add 1 on top, and they're picking these players off before they can get into the site, but decent trades from Renegades.
Jacob coming in with a good kill on Naf. Still a 3-on-3. The bomb's been planted, and let's see if they're going to miss that smoke. Steel, great long-range shot against Azza. He's also the one carrying the kit. If he goes down far away from the bomb, that is going to have a really big impact on the round. JKS and Jacob, I feel like they're not exactly in great positions. They can't help each other out all that easily, so they might get isolated now, trying to get way down. Jacob goes down, and now it's just JKS left. 1 versus 3, and Nitro's going to be able to take him down. Defuse well on its way. So Liquid will pick up the pistol.
Yeah, every time Renegades turned a corner and had any kind of distance between them and Liquid, it was a nice headshot, a crisp headshot coming out from one of the Liquid players. And a team ace, all 5 players on Liquid getting 1 kill.
It's very true. They're going to be happy about that, but Renegades still get the bomb plant. So, and they are actually going to invest more than I thought into this.
We just chatted about this in the last game as well. It seems so long ago. Hellraisers versus Heroic, a second round buy after you get the plant instead of waiting so you can get the AKs out on the 3rd one. So risky, but at least it allows them to have the utility with these pistols as well. So you can kind of create something, and we'll see. They want to go towards this inner bomb site, and they're doing it slow. And actually, if Naf walks right into this and then Steel is in an awkward position, this is huge. That's a big fight. Obviously, does good damage with the kill, but the M4 is missed, and now Steel is kind of trapped. He's got to stand his ground. He's got to fight to the death here. Not able to complete the kill, and then they line up for him at the end, but they've given over an M4. The flank from Elige is pretty much going to seal this round for the Team Liquid side, and obviously now he's got to book it to salvage the rifle. And he's got it.
Job well done. That definitely looked like it could have got much worse. I think one of the things that saves Steel a bit is the fact that the first headshot he got was from a Glock or something, I think.
Yeah.
So if that had been like a Deagle or a C-set, that probably would have been the end of it. So yeah, just a little bit of fortune going Liquid's way.
Also, it's that aggression seemed scary, but it also, the fact that they took the fight to Renegades actually prevents them from using all that utility that they invested into, which is kind of a bummer. So if those nades and smokes and flashbangs come out during an execute, there's a chance that Liquid gets caught in an awkward situation, but it gets negated. This time, no armor, and Naf gonna push up. Wants to go hang out with his old teammates in the bathrooms, and now he's got to fall back, and it's not going to happen, so that's a good kill. Steel is here. The Molotov is going to isolate JKS, and this is awkward for Steel, and he's just going to spray and swing out wide. That's the bomb as well. And a nice fire kill.
Parting gift. Nifty and as the left. Naf getting denied that early aggression there, but they sort of make up for it. It's a good decision for Steel not to wait around forever on that A ramp or in the B ramp, just because you never know if there were going to be more people coming around that corner. Tapping away, eventually Elish picks up the double. That would be the first 3 rounds going in favor of Liquid. Now, instant AWP buy picked up by Nifty. Just go on straight for it. No head armor on him. It's a really, really minor detail, but when you are playing against FAMAS, that MP9, and even the M4s...
Yeah. Yeah, definitely. Just one random stray bullet, and maybe even not even random. So yeah, that'll be something to keep your eye on, especially if he's taking those duels in mid, and maybe you get some of those shoulder peek shots coming out with the rifles. See how it goes, but we know Nifty can work some magic with that weapon. And Liquid going to use the opportunity to get in towards ladder room. They've got great positioning at the moment with Elysian Nafly doubling up there. And Nifty and mid jumping across, trying to find information to go for a shot.
Elish being a little bit tricky. That smoke works in 2 ways. One, it might trick someone who's up the ladder to think that they smoked it off and therefore no one is going to be there, but it also works as you can see a sort of slight one-way smoke in case they come out main. So I mean, yeah, it's a good trick, good attempt.
I think to be honest, that smoke play to kind of fool someone into thinking there's going to be no one in ladder room is kind of done with. I don't think everyone's getting caught off guard. Well, there's that M4 headshot under the unarmored AWP. Just what you were talking about, Anders.
Oh God, I'm sorry, Nifty.
You've cursed him. Elish with the precision, and now going to push up towards Ozza, but the shadow gives him away, and maybe a little bold from Elish, being nonchalant and walking up into that angle.
Naf is pretty close here with the MP9, and he's got half health, so maybe he could stop the bomb from going down, but they're getting picked up by JKS. So 4 versus 3 here, 1-man lead for Renegades. Would be a big round to turn if they can really early on. Aster is going to be going down against Twist, and they need a bomb plant at some point. Flashbang there, going to buy them maybe a little bit of time. 3-on-3, and Steelers on a flanking mission, so they need to move at some point here. The bomb is finally going to be planted, and no one there to stop it. Nafit fallen just a little bit away. Twist turning around for the flashbang. That's such a great read. What an incredible player. Going to be a double kill for him. That was so well done. He just saw that coming, turns for the flashbang, gets the kill. Now it's a 2-on-3, and JKS is going to be going down. That was Steel with the flank coming in, and Ustillo, the last one left in a 1 versus 3. He does get the first kill on Steel. And the bomb's still ticking. There's the double, looking for Naf. And Naf already revealing himself. Really hard to win this one. He does have the kit. He gets the spray through and almost gets the kill. Tapping on it once again. Ustillo's going to go wide, and there's just not enough time. Naf has to fall away. Ustillo somehow winning the round. My heart goes out to Twist. That was very well done.
Yeah, that really was. I don't know how he read that coming, but it was great. That's tough for Liquid, obviously. That's a small bonus round with some of the SMGs. They gave up way too many kills in kind of the middle portion of that round. You know, Elish walking up like that was kind of a free kill. The pick-off from JKS onto Nitro, who's shoulder peeking in towards mid. That's an opportunity you don't want to give away. There was a big conversation on the desk about the post plants and how sometimes, you know, Renegades historically has had some good game plans and struggled. One of the ways that Team Liquid has improved as a roster is in those post plants, and that's kind of where I have seen some of the biggest strides in their gameplay, is the way they kind of play the post plants. So look for that to be a big thing, even though they lose that one.
And it seems almost unfair. Renegades win the round, but because it's a 1-on-1, they get to buy a scout and a Galil, and the other team has double AWP. So, you know, that's
life's not fair.
It just is not. There's no way to get around it.
Well, at the moment, the scouts winning out. They've tagged Twist down to 30. That's a bit brutal. And with his rotation away from Ivy, this is a bit sketchy because no one has eyes on Ivy, and Renegades is already to the end of it. And there's a good segment of time there where if they had just looked right instead of left, Elige would have just been a free kill. Tense situation. They're already on Ivy, and Liquid has no idea. They have no clue this is coming, and you can still just keep walking. There's the spot from Nitro. Gets the dink. Not able to complete it. Elige wants to follow up, but he can't. Good trades from Renegades coming out into the outer yard.
They're so far back in the yard that you can see someone like Elige, who's the only forward player. He's just going to get wrapped on really quickly. That's a great kill for Twist. Bomb is going down on the other side. They're trying to get the shot that get the leg through on JKS. I absolutely love it, but the kill would have been exactly what they needed. Still a 3-on-3. And Steel trying to get up, see if they can isolate JKS. He gets a headshot regardless, and Jacob there to follow it up. Really good hold for Renegades. Great play in the afterplant.
Yeah, that double plant really backstabbing Team Liquid. You could see that trade onto JKS on the trade would have come out if Twist didn't have the AWP. He got tagged by the scout, and the reason why that defense was so out of sorts is Twist, after getting tagged down to 30, goes with the low HP to trade the AWP over, or trade his rifle over to Nitro and take the AWP, and that took, I think, much longer than they expected. And because of that, they had 3 players bottled up at that bomb site, and then Renegades just able to take advantage of the negligence towards Ivy. So a good start for Renegades. I mean, yeah, Team Liquid wins pistol in the ensuing 2 rounds, but Renegades winning the 2 first gun rounds is great.
I'm so excited that people are shooting under this train, Moses.
That's made you more excited than I think most clutches.
Yeah,
in this event so far.
It really is.
Yeah, you see clutches every day, but you don't often see them shooting under trains.
No, and here's what's really fun.
Yeah?
You can throw grenades under there as well.
Ooh.
You can throw flashbangs and HE grenades.
Do they actually do damage?
Yep.
Because the grenades get a little bit finicky when there's
No, they go all the way under. They
Okay. actually
come out the other side.
Cool.
So you can shoot under that train with a Glock. You don't need an AWP rifle. It does full damage. So just trying to push this narrative a little bit more. Oh, that's a great peek. The only AWP they have, and Naf and Charger picking up that shot against Nifty. That's going to be very annoying.
They've got to do more of that. Ooh, the spam coming through. I think he actually just tags Zaza on the second one, down to 65, but that's a good kill onto Elige. But they need that op to stay aggressive and stay peeking into these choke points because they don't have anything else to really fight with. Nitro is going to be alone towards inner, and he's only got a USP. Jacob, I believe, has been, he's going to be pushing up, and ooh, they haven't actually spotted Nitro, so this could get clever, but Naf equally has no idea Ustillo is wrapping around him, and that's going to be an easy kill. Great job by Ustillo. Nitro now. That's a good one. 2-on-3 situation, and I'm struggling to find the best outcome of this for Team Liquid. I think it really is salvaging that AWP and the AK-47 if Nitro can find that.
Yeah, it's a real shame. I mean, he didn't really have a chance to pick up the AK, but it would have been great if he could have. JKS spots him out once again. He's just trying to be a little bit more annoying. There's the AK finally. That's a really good attempt for Nitro, but ultimately, I guess he still buys a little bit of time for Twist to run away with the AWP, and I think you're right. That probably was the best case scenario. Renegades equalizing right off the bat.
Yes, very quickly as well, efficiently. With the op, though, I imagine Team Liquid's going to buy in this next round. Yeah, certainly, especially with the op. Nitro's got 4,700. Twist will be able to drop that over.
Now, the next thing we need, Moses.
Yes.
And train. Now that people are shot under the train, that's step one.
Okay.
And the next thing we need is the wall bang from the T side of main, or I guess the T side of main, all the way down to Ivy.
Yeah, that one is cool. I saw that on Reddit.
Yeah, you can shoot people all the way through.
That's pretty cool. That would be perhaps one of the more frustrating ways as a defender to get killed.
Yeah, it's possible. So I'm just saying it. It's going to be my new mission now that we've got the first one sorted.
Been waiting a long time for that as well.
It's been a really long time.
I've had to listen to you complaining about that bomb train.
Moses is the real victim in this scenario.
As usual, I am the victim. Nitro.
We all have roles in life, Moses.
Nitro's rotated towards inner with that AWP to peer up towards the top ramp. Steel playing at that off angle inside the bomb site. There's not a lot of utility left. Only Twist has the kit, and here they come. Steel's got a big job to do. Misses the initial shot. Nitro has seen nobody yet, and Steel's actually on top of fire. On top of the train, they line up, but he can't complete either of those. He's got him down so low. 24 combined HP on Ozzo and Ustillo. There could be easy kills. Look at this flank from Elige as well. Elige's going to stall this round out. Here he comes down that lower ramp. That's a huge kill combined with Nitro's nade. And they've thrown this round all over the place. Renegades has no clue what's happening.
No, complete chaos at the moment. Elige actually keeps pushing for a little bit. That could be scary. Now it's a 3-on-3. But there's no bomb plant happening at the moment. And part of that is also due to Steel throwing out a Molotov before he went down. That was a pretty good job on him. Nafly is gone. Next in line, Twist with a big double. Leaving it at a 1 versus 1. That bomb plant much needed. And JKN. Yes, I wondered for a minute if he was going to try and run for the other bomb side, but instead he goes for the fight, and he's going to win it. Gets the headshot, picks up the AWP, and Renegades making it 4 in a row. That was weird.
They recovered very nice from that scenario. I thought Elige surely those 2 kills that him and Nitro get when he flanks down were going to kind of end it. And in a 3-on-3 with Renegades players all over the place, Ustillo gets a couple nice kills. They even survived the ensuing double from Twist, which is craziness. So Really well done from Renegades. That's kind of showing a poise that is not always there for Renegades.
No, and I mean, you could even, I think you could have made an excuse for them if they had lost that round, because that is kind of a tough situation when you just, you don't even get a chance. You're still out against unarmored targets, having a really great time. Scout will take care of him, but yeah, that's not bad at all.
Now, if you are a Liquid fan tuning into the game, you get a little nervous when Ustillo starts kind of going on this level of a start with his 10 kills and also the high impact kills, because he is one of those guys who has just a game every once in a while where he just entirely takes over. And if he keeps going in this trend, it might start to feel like that. He's one of those guys that it just seems like the role he plays in this, when the kills go his way, they're all just high impact frags. So good start to the game for him.
I agree. He also sort of, at least from the outside, he looks like he's one of the more quiet players on that team, sort of personality-wise.
Which is impressive.
Yeah.
Team, they're all quiet.
Yeah, but, I mean, some of them have a little bit, I feel like, a little bit too. JKS is a fun guy. But yeah, I think, so I think when that works, like when he's doing a really good job, I feel like that's going to sort of inspire the rest of the team to do a bit more.
Well,
you got to hope.
You got to hope. There's always hope. Another double op setup coming out for Liquid. So expensive CT side that they want to fall into. 2 kits on Steel and NAF.
Did we talk about JKim at all? Just because I feel like in sort of in the Norwegian region, he got kind of outshined by obviously Rain suddenly just being in contention for maybe one of the best players in the world all of a sudden. And that's obviously incredibly impressive. But JKim has really nuts mechanical aim, like robot level aim sometimes. It's really scary.
Ooh, nice adjustment from Twist coming down, and Liquid want to get aggressive in towards T-Main. Yeah, I think part of the thing that makes it difficult to kind of really have a conversation about Jacob is it's been a while since we've seen him competing. Like, he was one of the guys who kind of got lost in all the star power on the original phase lineup, right?
Yeah.
Through their different organizations and iterations, and then he's just kind of been out of action for a bit. So, some flashbangs over mid. Renegades take back their portion of the map. Ustillo burning down to 60. But advanced positions for Liquid are going to make this tough. Nafly still pushing in with the cover of that smoke. Ustillo was isolated from Aza. It's going to be a nice kill. 5-on-3 here for Team Liquid. And now, if you're Liquid, if you're this defense, you kind of got to say, we have it's our round to lose. But not only that, we need to keep people alive. So don't risk too much here.
I'm almost a bit shocked that Naf doesn't trade with Twist for the AWP in this round, because he's just got 25 health and they sort of had the time for it. Maybe they didn't want to make the same mistake again, spending too much time with it. But still, 28 seconds and Renegades need something. A bomb plant, a couple of kills, anything here to make this round a bit sweeter. It's obviously got really tricky. JKS, well, Naf waiting. I mean, now if anyone else comes down, they're definitely not going to check that corner, are they?
No, certainly not. And Jacob actually coming back. I think he gets surprised by Liege. That's one of those kills that probably makes him jump. Less than 10 seconds. The round's obviously over, and all Aza has left to do is save. It's going to be a fourth for Liquid, but still, pretty good position that Renegades is in right now. They're going to be upset that they don't get any kills in this round, but the aggression from Team Liquid in different portions of the map kind of took some steam out of their idea, and obviously the pick from Twist onto Nifty was nice. Nifty at 1 kill.
I don't really want to see that too much. It would be great if he could get into play. He's really fun to watch, I think, with the AWP when he gets going. Yeah,
he's one of the most exciting players to be in that NA region as well, certainly. And intriguing in that, he came, obviously, the story's been told, he came from Call of Duty, came from console, and then he's become an in-game leader for this team, and he's definitely a big responsibility for why this Renegades lineup has been exciting. Good job by Elige in the face of the flashbangs and the flames. He gets a double kill as he retreats. Nifty does hold the angle and picks him off as he repeaks. But likewise, the ops from Liquid ring true at range.
And look at the flank that's coming out. Naf, as soon as all that was happening, he decided, I'm just going to give up on controlling the yard, and instead I'm going to push Ivy and flank him behind. And that seems like a very smart choice right now.
I'm wondering if that's maybe a conversation that Liquid had. Maybe like Naf was, because he played with them for so long. Because if you think about it, Liquid's been pretty aggressive in a lot of these rounds. Like, you think back to the second and third rounds where they're pushing inner. Elige has been flanking up ladder. And maybe Naf knows something where he's just like, listen, these guys, especially if they start losing some players, are a bit weak at watching their flanks. So make sure we're making those plays.
So just a spy, in other words. He's been on the team for a little bit.
A traitor and
Yeah,
a spy.
he's a traitor and a spy. Exactly. And now he's just joined the other side, giving them all the intel. Can you, maybe that's how you do it in the future. When you sell off one of your players, you make them sign like a contract that says they can't talk about like any kind of strats when they're on the new team.
Seems relatively unenforceable.
Yeah, but just hire really good lawyers, Moses. You have the other team record all other team speak conversations.
Yeah, and send it over.
They have to submit them. Everyone.
That seems reasonable. 5-5 tactical pause for Renegades as they try and figure things out. They're going to be sitting this round, spend it on the sidelines in a way. Only have pistols. CZ on Ustillo. This freeze time kind of comes to an end, and again, the money is going to start building up for Liquid. That's a couple rounds they've survived with multiple players.
Yeah, 11 rounds into the game, 5-5. I think Renegades are going to be quite happy, winning 5 in a row. If they can just get a little bit more on the board here, it's going to be a pretty successful first half for them.
Yes, you've got to be. If you're the Renegades, you're pretty comfortable with where you're at the moment. You obviously want to get more, but you're happy so far. There's the jump up, there's the cross, and the leg shot from Twist. And the nade out. Ooh, it does catch him. Right off the wall. Bank shot. He called it.
Yeah, it was pretty good. It looked like it was going to... I always wondered if it was going to get caught on the side.
Yeah, I thought it was going to bounce right back at him.
Yeah. Justillo doing a little dance on the ladder for a moment. Wants to go, but also kind of doesn't. And right into Elise's M4. JKS and Az are the last two left to try and do some damage. JKS is going to at least get the deagle shot. Feels like, oh, well, headshot. Not bad.
Elysian Twist leading the way for Team Liquid, both at 12 kills. Ustillo still stuck at 10. He hasn't gotten anything since I gave him that shout out earlier. Sorry.
Yeah, the good old caster's curse.
Yeah,
everyone
love to
loves
see it. We'll be interested to see what Renegades does. Remember, every time they've had like Nifty with that AWP, they've given him a decent amount of time to try and find a pick. I know one round he was taken out by Nafly with the AWP. One round it was Elige with the M4 who took his head off in the main choke point. So he's had a tough time on this T side with the AWP trying to find something for his squad. Twist even took him out one round in a heads-up duel towards Ivy. Using that smoke now, it's not going to happen. But certainly this Renegades lineup would get much more dangerous if he gets switched on somehow in this game.
You really need to have the confidence some of the time if you want to go for those AWP battles, and you lose too many in the beginning, it can definitely have an effect on just how your mindset is when you go for one of those fights. Hopefully that won't be wearing too much on Nifty early on here. I mean, it's only the first half for the first map, so plenty of time to get warmed up. Got to take a longer perspective as well. This is looking very tactical. So
this kind of defense on the CT side always makes me a little bit nervous because you are giving a lot of ground towards Ivy. Even though you're watching it, it can be tough. And they've actually readjusted it again, so even more room is given over towards Renegades. They're going to wrap around towards the inner bomb set. They're going to try and split this, which is not easy. Twist has already spotted it out, but there's the kill onto Steel. Now Naf has got to do everything with it. AWP gets one. Molotov is down, but it's not enough, although that's the bomb. The bomb is currently in the flames, and Ustillo's got to wait, and this has got to make you feel nervous at the moment.
The devil is going on, Moses. They've got 25 seconds. The bomb has now been picked up. But if JKS goes down, Elise's walking right into that headshot. So that is an absolutely critical kill. Nitro is going to be going down as well. JKS is locking out the round. Fantastic job on Renegades, in spite of just, a moment of panic as the bomb just disappears. Twist is going to pick up the one. He's got the AK in a 1 versus 2, but they really should not be giving him much of a chance to take this fight.
Yeah, but Liquid's got plenty of money. He can definitely go for this. It's going to be very difficult, if not impossible, especially considering where the bomb is planted. That spam comes through. Oh, he doesn't realize that he's actually tagging someone, but that could have been an ideal opening kill to start this off. And I think now, if you're Twist, you give it a good shot. You just give it up, and he's going to get taken out from behind. Ustillo returns the favor. Headshot to the side. 3 kills for him in the round. And it's 6-6. Like I said, Liquid has plenty of money, so they're not going to be put back onto pistols or anything like that. But Renegades in a scenario where they can reset the economy late in the half.
That was my favorite strategy, Moses. The smoke towards Yard, the wraparound. It worked.
But you saw a lot of the risks. We also got to see why it gets so scary. I mean, I think Twist almost landed that shot as they crossed towards CT spawn.
I didn't see any risks at all, Moses.
And then obviously the bomb being dropped and barbecued.
It's been tried once so far in train, and it works. It's a 100% success rate, Moses. Just 100%.
It's an adequate sample size as well. I like it.
You're not a scientist, are you? I mean,
no, I'm not.
I'll do the stats. I'll find all the rounds where someone did that.
All the rounds. Liquid's really loving this double up setup, and it's actually astounding that they haven't been reset more ever since they've kind of brought it out. Just a testament to like when they win those 3 CT sided rounds that they had in the gun rounds, they won them pretty convincingly.
6-6. They're really keeping close right now, which is obviously going to be favoring Renegades in the long run. Grenade, looked like its timing is pretty good. Yeah, that's not bad damage at all. We talked about the difference sort of AK versus M4. When you get that kind of grenade in, it sort of equalizes the fact that the M4 does a little bit less damage. So it's definitely not bad. Oh, crouching in. Steel going to pick up 1 kill in return. And the bomb is dropped once again. Renegades, they're a little bit unfortunate where this bomb goes down. And it could actually cost them again. Jakim is going to go down, and Asa next in line. Elige and Naf to close out the round. So Liquid now coming out a bit on top. And also finally closing that Renegades economy again.
We saw this yesterday, and it's showing up here again today. Steel does a really good job with his movement and positioning at that inner bomb site.
Yeah.
And I think he realized as well when his teammate died, the rotator and connector. He realized that with the attack coming towards the upper ramp, the only place he could really go that was safe was towards the sidewalk. And jumping up, he adds 1 more kill onto it as he pushes up, delays the plant, forces Renegades, once they eventually win a couple fights, that they have to go way out of their way to get the bomb. It's a really nice job from him. Naf's going to get aggressive. Ooh, and he's going to get some free kills here. That's nice, and they're going to walk right into it, although only the 1 nade out. That could be huge, but he threw it for the shallow, so it doesn't quite land the kills, but JKS and Azza down below 10 HP.
Yeah, the damage has been done in a round like this. I mean, with no armor and that low, can't imagine that working out very well for them. I like the fact that Naf is just trying to be greedy with that SMG, just farming up the money. It's a bit of a shame. Everyone loves a good spray down.
Yeah.
The Eco Cobra, I think, to pull out, ancient term.
Yeah, everyone, those are always fun. That's like what makes you really get excited when you know it's around like this. He's pretty much pushed up every time he's realized it's going to be an eco, so bummer he could only get the 1 kill, but obviously with the damage, and somehow the defense falls asleep there and lets them out upper, lets them get a kill, and lets them get a plant. No real risk of them losing this round, but obviously don't just want to be giving up free plants for no reason. That's going to help Renegades have a much stronger buy in the next round.
Yeah, it absolutely will. Taking away a couple of rifles, not going to make a big difference because Liquid did have the money to rebuy, and we're going into the 15th round here. Still 8-6, and yeah, Renegades are they're looking more composed than I'm used to. I feel like they're hitting a higher level of Counter-Strike, which is, I think, exciting.
It helps that they got their luggage in.
Yeah?
I believe. And I might be making that up.
Bit of a luxury.
It was supposed to come in yesterday. Yeah.
Yeah, it's always fun when you call the airport and they say, maybe tomorrow. Maybe.
It blows my mind that all 5 of them lost their luggage. Like it was everyone from the team. It wasn't just like one person's. Short connection, I guess. Either way, Nitro with the AWP, and actually they ran right through his flames. And I think Nitro's got to laugh at that one a little bit because he was not expecting that whatsoever.
What just happened?
I don't know. Oh, Jacob taking a big, big risk. That Molotov's not going to do anything. Elige actually is probably thanking him for that. There goes Nitro. Azza sneaks out to Olaf's spot.
You have to admire his incredible dedication to taking that fight.
Look at the flank. Twist is already wrapping around. This is going to be, he's going to destroy everyone. 2 kills for him. And that should be a 9th. It's a 1-on-3 for Ustillo. And even though he's had a great game, that's a bit too much. So despite a really rough stretch in the middle of that, a 5-0 run for Renegades, Team Liquid actually come out with a big advantage. Or not a big advantage, but a nice advantage. Comfortable one.
I want to believe that someone told Jacob, like, we needed to take that fight and just not give up. And he just thought, all right, I'm not going to disobey an order.
Yeah.
Just stand in the fire until this works.
It is a bit funny that he just dies before he finishes off the kill. Because that was going to be a kill with like 1 or 2 more shots.
Yeah, that's That's a bit rough.
It could have been something where like maybe like a rush was called and the rest of the team slowed down. Maybe they encountered some utility they didn't want to mess with, and Jacob was just that dedicated.
Just pulling a bit of a prank on Jacob.
Hazing rituals.
It's just a prank, bro.
Like, we can paddle you or bait you.
Yeah, it wasn't a rush after all. Yeah, but we lost a round, guys.
Yeah.
9-6, and the 16th round coming up here. Pistol round, always big. And you can tell that Liquid have 2 smokes and a Molotov, so could be some interesting stuff. I mean, those smokes are going to help them get down the sidewalk. Azza, now that's a really annoying thing that happens a lot here, I've noticed, where people throw the smoke to block off Azza's position, but they push before it actually goes up, and then they get shot anyway. So I don't want to see that. I want that to not happen. It's actually being thrown from the other side, which is beautiful stuff, but it does leave them a little bit of room. Now they're pushing down. Ustillo trying to reposition. That's a great headshot. And a great return coming out from Twist. Still a 4-on-4 as the bomb goes down inside of the bomb site, and they still have that smoke and kit on Nifty, so he's a little bit of trouble here. Gonna fall back and just try and play it safe. Liquid with pretty decent positions in the outer plant.
That's a nice shot from Elige. Nitro up next, just biding his time, silent the whole time, and they're just losing players before they get close to this bomb. Liquid doing a very good job holding at bay. They drop down, they line up for Elige. He gets one. And surely Azza has nowhere else to go. Good pistol round from Liquid.
Yeah, not too bad at all. And especially when you have to take those forward fights, even if there weren't that many of them. You see Nitro's position, it's just very hard to keep the focus on the bomb site when you've got to take all these intermediary fights. It's definitely annoying.
But I mean, again, it just shows that the success of that all is predicated on Nitro getting up to that position, and I think Elige was right behind High Train as well. So I mean, once you get those advanced positions, Renegades are just to fight the whole way to the bomb site, and you're certainly going to be losing players, because we saw earlier, I think, where either Hellraisers or Heroic, someone got bottlenecked really after the plant. They were just kind of stuck in the bomb site with nowhere to really push forward to, and that certainly spells their doom. Good kill from Ustillo, good trade from Twist. The rotations are in towards the upper or the inner bomb site, but it might not matter too much unless JK has its more shots like that.
They just don't have the pistols for it. I mean, that Deagle was one thing, but JK and Azza, there is an attempt at a flank. If he can win this fight against Nitro, that would be maybe the only chance. Otherwise, yeah, it's not going to work out. Immediately discovered and forced back. So Jacob trying for something. And doesn't really get rewarded for it either. It's going to be 11 rounds for Liquid. 11-6. That's a big lead.
It really is. Outside of that one stretch, they've looked like the dominant squad. So there's a ray of hope for Renegades. We'll see what happens when the gun rounds begin. And Nifty did not invest into this round, so he's got 1,500 in the bank. He'll have that AWP first gun round. And he has just been very quiet, hasn't he? 3 and 15.
Yeah, somebody needs to get him back into the game. I suppose opening T side can be a struggle.
Yeah.
But the rate this game is going, he's not going to have, unless they really start putting a lot of rounds together, he's not going to have many rounds where he can even buy the AWP. I mean,
yeah, he's got essentially that first one, and if that doesn't pan out, then they're in trouble. I mean, they're still in trouble as it is. Liquid very convincing that time, not spreading out across the map, not allowing those CZs and Deagles to pick them off, just making sure they get that kill and they just hit the bomb site, get in, able to trade some frags, use the range of those AKs, and they're going to do it again here. Steel is leading the way outside, but this is dicey. Jacob stalls him out. There's the peek from Nifty. He's taken out good trades, but now the rest of the weaponry from Liquid gets involved, and it's all easy from there.
Kind of a nice attempt at a stack. I mean, they just got shut down at range, but I still kind of like that. 12-6, and it's been a rough beginning to the second half here for Renegades, but now they have rifles. Liquid with none of the AWPs, but Nifty has his. So this is his chance, Moses.
I think Liquid has this tendency on their T sides. They love exploiting the fourth round, like low utility buy on a CT sides. I imagine this would be, if not fast paced, they're going to find some timing early on in the round where they just kind of execute and just continue to push up.
Steel certainly went for a peek in main. Didn't get a chance to see anyone. There is a bit of a forward push from Jacob down towards Ivy. It's being spotted on the other side by Nitro, but I mean, they still have some chance to be a little bit annoying down there. And Renegades, you said low utility, but It's 1 minute and 20 seconds. They have 2 smokes. About to put up 1, I think, Justillo. Yeah, so that's 1 smoke and 1 Molotov. It's not good.
No, but at least the Molotov is outside. It's on Jacob. So if Team Liquid does execute outside and they see the smokes raining over, Jacob can at least try and throw that into one of the choke points to buy his team sometimes 7 seconds to focus elsewhere. That last smoke on Renegades just used. So surely Liquid, that execute would come in soon. They have Twist with the bomb towards inner. Elige is there as well. 2 defenders at that B bomb site. Nitro, Steel, and Naf are going to apply some pressure. Here it comes. Smokes over the top. Naf is waiting in ladder room. When does he want to peek? Nifty is just out of his view. I think he walked into his own team's flash. There's the kill from Elige towards inner. They don't know Azza is still on the sidewalk. This could be a big play. This could be the play that shuts it down. They tap the bomb to try and bait him out. There he is. Good trades from Liquid. Azza was making a play, but the timing of Liquid coming down that ramp really screwed it up.
Yeah, it really did. And now Nifty's so low on health. I mean, that's a really big problem. 4 versus 3. JKS with a great headshot to take down Twist. That's an opening, but they need a lot more. Jacob coming in on the low ground, crouching his way forward. He's going to get the headshot on 1, but the trades are just so good for Liquid. And this 2 versus 2, they've got the Molotov on the high ground with no smoke currently on the CT side, so it's immediately going to get put up, landing right on that bomb. And with the lack of kits, that's the round. Like, there's nothing they can do now.
And JKS is even going to die with a bomb no matter what happens here. He is going to peek up as, unfortunately, doesn't get the kill. Oh, maybe he doesn't die in that corner with 66. Not sure. Yeah, oh, very, very close. They do evacuate, though, so the op is still going to be in the hands. And nice win for Team Liquid. And even though you're happy to save the op and one of the M4s, I think if you're Renegades, you have to buy here. You drop over that or you drop over that M4, but no, they're gonna save up. They're gonna go for a half buy. Some CZ surrounding this.
Is there any worse feeling when you're playing on the CT side and you hear that, even just hearing the Molotov bank up against the wall and you know, well...
Yeah, and you just know you lose?
Yeah.
No, not many worse feelings. Really good fake from Team Liquid, obviously, and sending Elige, really nice, a really good duelist. Out to take that initial fight and find the kill. I liked the play from Azza. It's unfortunate that didn't work out for him because I think it was very cool. If that hadn't been like, the fake coming back and 3 players coming down that ramp, I think he could have done great things.
Nifty now. AWP, he was actually trying to be aggressive in the last round, and I feel like that's a good sign, Even if you're really sort of not hitting too many shots, you sort of have to keep believing that it's going to happen next round. Jacob goes down, Azza and JKS as well, and it's just all falling apart here at the A-bomb side. To save the AWP once again, Liquid are now, I mean, we're sort of talking about Renegades playing well, but now Liquid is just cruising straight through.
Yeah, they're doing a really good job. It's suffocating. They've been very strong at trading, and I think Nifty needs to start thinking about just bailing out and going to save. This could be his plan, though. Stay close by, and maybe they won't notice you. But if you're Liquid, why not go on the hunt? Go take that gun away. You have such a big lead.
It's just kind of overwhelming. Liquid just not giving them much of a chance. Twist doing a really, really good job. The Magician.
Van Dulken. Yeah. He's done well. I mean, that's the tough part. If you look at this team and you have Twist with 23 kills, Elysian 20, that's... Even some of the best teams in the world are gonna struggle to overcome that. Those 2 players are very, very good and have a lot of impact for this team. It's been 5 straight rounds on the T side for Liquid. It's been 8 straight if you go back to the first half, and it's been an 11-1 run in the past 12 rounds.
Very much an uphill battle at the moment. You still had a really good first half, I feel like, and then it's been a little bit rough. They haven't really been able to buy many rifles, and now maybe the first time actually they get not just the rifles but some utility to work with as well. And JKS is going to pick up the first kill on Elige. That's a good opening. Justillo, they try and double up against him. Steel really gunning for that one, but Justillo was quick.
If that kill happens, if it comes out, they might just straight up win the round. Azza out in sidewalk, exposed. Naf going to throw a Molotov, going to try and get through that, trying to help his teammate. Unfortunately, Twist can't win that fight, but Naf has gained a lot of ground. There's a good kill. Follows up as well. Headshot onto Nifty. They were not aware of his positioning. And now look at this. Naf can stop everyone. Can stop Jacob from getting involved. It's all down to timing.
They're both pushing up. This isn't one guy planting. They're just both gunning for it. They've got so much time. This is actually very smart for Liquid now. If they just don't get caught off guard, it's shooting him in the back. Still going to be Naf picking that one up, and he knows exactly where Jacob is. That is very interesting. Picks up the bomb and is going to make a run for it. Liquid, they're playing a pretty deep game in a round like this.
Yeah, that's a very cool call in that 2-on-2 to go all the way up, because you could have just let Naf gain that position, but they wanted to work together, and now Jacob, he's left in a very awkward position. Naf has had plenty of time to get into a different spot. This could be sketchy, though, coming around this angle. Oh, nice shot from Naf. 4 kills for him in the round. He turned that on its head.
Like, what do you even do about that? Because you still have got that great first kill, and it looked like they had it shut down. And then, yeah, Naf just coming with 2 really big frags.
I think you still even got spammed through smoke by Twist. So it's like one of those, like, even if that little bit of luck doesn't go out towards Liquid. But yeah, I mean, even so, they still, Renegades have an advantage in that round. And just the confidence, and you mentioned it, I mean, it's almost like a no-respect style. But Naf just continues pushing forward at that inner bomb site, right? And it finds Azza and then finds the follow-up. Nifty wasn't aware that he was even there.
15-6, Salige. Flashbang in his eyes, and somehow still wins the fight against Jacob. On the other side, Azza, just the UMP. Very hard to keep that on lockdown. There's a lot of trading going on. It's still a 3-on-3. Ustillo so quick with the flank. He made a bit of noise, but I think there was too much happening in the yard that anyone really heard it. So he's going to clean up those 2 kills, leaving Nitro 1 versus 3 to try and close out the map pretty quick if he can. Nifty not quite getting that, but he is completely locked in this corner, and there's no way out of this. Fire as well, Moses. There's overkill at this point, isn't it?
You got to feel so depressed at this point. A second Molotov as well. Good flank from Ustillo down ladder. A couple kills from him. That was Liquid just wanting to end things, wasn't it? Just like basically just a ladder rush. They almost traded their way out of it.
Yeah, you can. I mean, I think they win the first fight, and then they run into the UMP, and then JKS, it's like it's just too many fights at the same angle. You know, every time you win the next kill, you think, that's it, now we're out, and then, no, we're still fighting. Like, it's just, and they all sort of stand on top of each other when they're trying to get out ladder room anyway, so
right.
Bit unfortunate, really.
Well, they still have at least one advantage over Renegades, and that's the AWP on Twist. So Liquid playing a little bit of musical ops. Nitro, Twist, and Naf all using it at different points throughout this half.
If you're Jacob, you're not loving this situation. The Molotov is going to crisp him a little bit. He pushes on through and actually tries to beat the timing. I think Steel might have seen that. It's going to be the battle continues, and Steel gets the headshot on Jacob. Big opening.
There's a flashbang he heard that caused him to turn around. Nice trade. Molotov into the choke point. Naf going to make gains towards the bomb site. The reaction is there, but not the kill. Nifty still alive, and 2 Renegades players out here, Nifty and Azza. They've got to hold on. The AWP trying to keep them locked into the bomb train, and there's the frag from Twist. 1-on-2 scenario. He's going to get aggressive with that Glock. He knows he's low. He's found it, but the follow-up from Ustillo, there's the peek, and Twist isn't ready for that angle, isn't ready for the follow-up from the same choke point. What do you think, Anders? Is the comeback going to happen?
No.
All right.
Poor
guys.
I just doubt it, Moses. I'm not seeing it. I do my best at reading the future. I do. For those who know me, I do make a lot of really mad predictions about what tends to happen in the future, but not like this.
Yeah, it's been hard on you now that you're not really in control of things anymore.
Or am I? Nifty is going to be taking down Nitro. Of course, they have very limited armor and utilities. You can't expect much out of them in this round. So just a moment where Renegades get to feel a little bit better about themselves, pick up a couple of good rounds and kills. And I think the problem is so many of these rounds that Renegades have won here in the second half.
Yeah.
They are just like mad trading where it seems like Renegades sort of barely make it out. You know, they just happen to get the right trades at the end of it. But I can see a world in which, like, if that just goes wrong even one time, then that's the map, you know.
Right.
So I think Liquid are fine with just continuing to try this, you know. Let's get out Pop Dog early. Let's get out main. Yeah. Let's just keep fighting. Eventually they're going to make a mistake, or one of our grenades is going to force someone out, or, you know, anything like that, and that's it.
Yes. Yeah, they've tried. I mean, they've just been very aggressive. I think you're right about that. A lot of these 3 wins, or the first 2 certainly, maybe not that third one, but the first 2 wins they've had in this 3-round streak have been great trades back and forth for both teams into like a 3-on-3, and then the next kill just goes Renegades' way, and they kind of scrape it out. We'll see what they've got. 5 AKs, no AWP on the Liquid side of things. That's a good shot from Nifty. He's down to 34. JKS is forced back. Aza and Ustillo under ladder, or in ladder room. That'll be a quick flank if this hit does come in. And 3 players from Liquid are here. Nitro's out towards Ivy, so essentially you feel like Liquid's end game is here at the B bomb site.
Be great if they could have made some noise over at Ivy, but now that they've lost everybody over on the B side, it kind of feels like that doesn't matter. Nitro was lingering around, so, you know, I was thinking if he takes a fight with Jacob and wins it, there's a chance. Ustillo gets himself killed. Got to be very careful here. If Asa goes down, it could get a bit dicey at the A bomb side.
Was it 2-on-5, Anders?
Yeah.
Let's keep your eyes on that.
The kind of rounds you don't want to lose, even if the map wasn't going all that well for you. Just no reason to give it up in that situation. Nitro getting a headshot. So now 2 versus 3. Nifty, can he get the flick? He's already aware that someone could be up on that train. He actually does see the head, but I'm not sure he registered it. So now he's going to fall back instead, thinking maybe it's a double fake, and that's going to give them a bomb plant.
Yeah, what they're doing is they're falling back as Jacob's on the long flank through Ivy. He's coming all the way around, so they don't want to get killed before he's in position to make this happen. So they're allowing him the space to work, which is actually pretty smart. Twist is going to tap, see if the retake comes in for that. Nifty's now getting into position to perhaps stop the plant. Nitro checking for it, but he's just missed the timing.
He was always going to get shot in the back. There's Nifty gone down. Nitro was not realizing, didn't see it. Jacob actually goes a little bit early. He's got a great lineup, but they do get the kill, crouching into the right angle. I was worried that they were both going to peek him at the same time and get shot in the face, but Renegades survive. They've got 10 to 15. Another 5 rounds in a row, and we're going to go into overtime. That would be exciting.
That would be, and now you got to say, decent round from Nifty there with some nice shots. And Renegade seems to be getting involved, and now you're seeing the timeout out of Nitro. They've lost 4 in a row to allow Renegades to get to this point, which is going to maybe not make you nervous quite yet, but it's got to be in the back of your mind. You have to say, all right, guys, like we've tried, you know, some of the crazy stuff, some of the rushes, see if we catch them off guard, and it hasn't happened. So let's make sure we close this out now. So they're going to do a half buy out of this tactical pause. CZ's the Deagle, and how many times have we seen a game end on this? A buy just like this.
More times than I would like, Moses. Every time.
It's like, oh, 5 gun rounds go the way of Renegades.
Yeah, every time some of my soul leaks out into the universe, and I don't get it back, you know.
That actually makes a lot of sense. It explains a lot.
It does. Oh, man. Is Nitro the only one, the odd one out? Is he going to buy an AWP in the later round? You have to think probably yes. No.
But no, he will. They have a 4-round losing bonus, so it doesn't matter if he buys there.
All right, excellent. Don't want to give that opportunity away, I feel like. But let's see what they can do. C-Seds, the whole train running towards the B-bomb site. They're going to be greeted by Azza and Ustillo over on this side. Azza, really, really great position and just a beautiful spray. Nothing else to say about that. The quad kill coming through, and yeah, he handled it perfectly.
No celebrating. Everyone's calm. Some fist bumps. Kassad clapping. All right, well, that was fun. Nice for Azza. Now 15-11. Liquid has 4 more match points. This was at one point 15-6. And they've struggled to close it out. AWP is going to be in Nitro's hands, and they have full nade kits on the other 4 players with AK-47s. That was a really nice sequence from Oz. I know it's just against pistols, and I know he's got, you know, a really nice positioning and everything, but you do love to see that.
Yeah, it sort of suggests that as a player, you know, he's sort of dialed into his game a little bit.
But there is also that we talk about it every once in a while. Those kinds of rounds are, you know, it's like the stat padding, right? But at the same time, there is like a certain feeling to it where, you know, that makes you feel a little bit more confident as a player, especially for someone like Nifty. I know he had a round a while ago with the AWP where he had a couple free kills, and that always helps get you back into the game. Just 2 easy kills to get you on the board, make you feel a little bit better. So Azza is a player that you don't want to catch fire this late in the game. How does Liquid want to take this? Elise just toying with the ladder, taking a little bit of damage, but finding the information.
It looks like they want to go for the double drop, so he spots it out. There they drop down, but what a great return. JKS absolutely manhandling them. Elysian Nafly, no chance at all. That was just beautiful.
That's a bit cheeky from Liquid, trying to get away with one there. JKS not to be denied. What comes next for Liquid? Nitro really hasn't done anything with his op quite yet.
if Steel can move a couple of steps to the left and take a line into the bomb site, maybe he can catch someone who's sort of moving around. Like, it's a big risk, but I feel like they need to find a way in.
This is, I think Azza is, what is he, up top? Yes, so he's watching for that cross. Okay, that's what I was wondering, because it didn't look like from the minimap that anyone from Renegades really had eyes on that, but good positioning from Azza to make sure they had all their bases covered, and Nitro with the op. Run back and save. He's got no money. He's got exactly $0. Even with the full losing bonus, I'm not sure how much Liquid's going to be able to invest into this, because they're actually running out of gun rounds to go for this.
Yeah, I think the rest are going to be able to buy.
Yeah.
Is it 3,400 at the end of the so yeah, they can do it, but they've got to be a little bit worried. You know, this is starting to go the wrong way. There used to be a Team Liquid meme that involved.
What do you mean used to be?
Used to be. We're still keeping it alive. Some memes never die, I suppose.
This was sick. This was great from JKS. Nice transfer onto NAF.
What's your favorite meme, Moses?
I don't like the. I don't know, actually.
You're about to say you don't like memes?
Yeah. I don't know. That's a tough thought. I'd have to think about that one. I'll get back to you in the second map. You can ask me that question again.
I was just
think about it during the break.
I'm shocked.
Ooh, there's a pick. Jacob shoulder peeking, and he actually gave his shoulder. He gave Nature the opportunity once or twice before that. I'm surprised he didn't kind of see him, but I mean that's certainly going to help Liquid out. Have trouble closing an opening pick is always very nice from your opper.
Jacob going to be frustrated. There's no way, because he wasn't trying to fight. He just wanted to sort of get some information down there, was just shoulder peeking the angle, just took a step too far, and that was it.
Well, Renegades has to have a read. I don't think you can rely on Azza having a fast flank from ladder room. Yusillo is all alone at this B bomb site, and he's actually on top of the bomb train. So if they find that information, and I mean, with a 5-on-4, you don't have to commit everyone to the intersect. You can see Steel watching the flank, watching for this. Everyone's going to come down lower ramp. Smoke's there. Yusillo, big job to do. They haven't spotted him yet. There's another kill from Nitro. Now it's given up. They know he's on the bomb train, peeking out the side. They know he's dropped. He has to do more, and he has, but there's too much trading going on. And into a 2-on-2 for the game, for the map.
Oh, nifty. This would be the time to actually win it. Nitro going to move away. There was a bit of a fight with Steel trying to come down Pop Dog, and he got taken care of by Azza. So 2-on-2. Bomb planted. They have no smokes left, but there are no grenades on the other side either. And they need to make up their minds, Renegades. They can't wait forever. There's Nifty taking the kill on Twist. That's a huge frag coming in. One missed opportunity. Nitro, he's not going to have that many more. Is he going to try and reposition? Already on the defuse, trying to see if he can make it work. Jumping down Nitro. Oh, he gets the shot right through. What a ridiculous kill. Taking down Azza. And surely that's it. Nifty. He's going to be slightly panicked. And there it is. 16-12 as Team Liquid make it through. That was a godlike shot. Nitro waking up right at the end.
Where did that come from? That was a very dirty shot. And he actually even got Azza off the bomb. But that was great. Really struggled at the end. Nice comeback from Renegades to get up towards 12. And I feel like there's an element of a sigh of relief from Liquid. Taking some heroics from Nitro, the new primary opper for the squad.
Yeah, I think you could even see Sue sort of running his fingers down his face there, like, ooh, that was...
Thank the Lord.
That was a little bit too close. Yeah, well done. I don't know, like, Renegades were off to such a good start, and then they sort of came back into it at the end, but there was like a whole portion in the middle that was just missing. Yeah. Which was
I mean, I said there was what? It was like a 12-1 run before Renegades started back up, so you just can't... That can't happen.
Yeah, don't want to see that. Hopefully it's going to get better on map number 2 that is coming up next. But first, we'll have a bit of a break. So stay tuned, and we'll be right back.
Walking alone, the streets are empty. The only thing I can see is my own silhouette. I'm getting stronger, step by step. The clock is ticking, but there's no time for regrets. I've been flying from town to town, from London to Taiwan. I've been all around the globe, trying to protect your soul. We are heroes tonight. We will fly above the sky. We are heroes tonight. Yeah. We are heroes tonight. We will fly above the sky. We are heroes tonight.
Oh, JW, you might have just...
Feel like a dynamite, ready to explode right up in the sky. I need you to listen, I need you to hear, and don't show any fear. I've been flying from town to town, from London to Taiwan. I've been all around the globe, trying to protect your soul. We are heroes tonight. We will fly above the sky. We are heroes tonight. Yeah. We are heroes tonight. We will fly above the sky. We are heroes tonight. I've been flying from town to town, from London to Taiwan. I've been all around the globe, trying to protect your soul.
Hold me close till I get up. Time is barely on our side. I don't wanna waste what's left. The storms we chase are leading us, and love is all we'll ever trust. Yeah, no, I don't wanna waste what's left. And on we'll go, through the wastelands, through the highways, till my shadow turns to sun rays. And on we'll go, through the wastelands, through the highways, and on we'll go. shadow turns to sun rays, and on we'll go. Through the wastelands, through the highways, and on we'll go. And we'll grow in number, fueled by them to see the horizon.
Renegades result, there are a lot of wins, obviously a high win rate, but you can see it's not really comfortable win, right? It's close games, then grinding it out, which is also a good sign being able to do so. So they are picking here towards Liquid's weakness, not towards their own strength. It has been a good map, but not great.
I think like Renegades definitely, we already touched on this, but won the veto hands down in the sense that Yanko said Kasab wanted to pick Train. Liquid picked it for them, and then they got one of their better maps with Cage coming in here, which is a Liquid weakness. So they have to be happy with the maps and the way it's gone in this scenario. It's just the fact that you slot a new player in like Jacob. I know that Liquid also have NAF, but it's a different kettle of fish for me. It's a different variety because Jacob's not going to be given, hey buddy, where do you want to play? They're not building the team around him. They're not going to give him any allowances, whereas NAF is probably going to have a bit more freedom. Like Steel is going to take the bad roles, I suppose. Nitro probably do the same thing, and they give NAF places where he feels comfortable. Where Jacob just there, I don't even remember where he used to play on Train, but he was playing Vines or Ivy, right? And that's not necessarily a fragging spot.
And also Cash is more straightforward if you are a standing playing for a team, right? Coming into a bomb site on the T side, there's not as many angles you need to worry about, especially if you're using some utility as well. On the C side, on the CT side, as you pointed out, it can be a bit more free-flowing, right? Run around, do some simple setups, play for each other. The Renegades are loving it. Seems
that knife round.
Yeah, Kassad signaling to Zeus because they're sitting kind of side by side. I was standing out there watching them as the last couple of rounds unfolded, and there was one round where the Liquid guys were holding onto the AWP, and Kassad obviously can't talk, and he wants them to chase, so he's standing there doing this, like hoping that they know like to push up, and and it's just like the frustration you can see, like they know that if it takes AWP away, it's going to be huge.
Yeah.
Anyway. It's fun to see that dynamic play out.
It is, and it does seem like fun is the key word here. Renegade smiles on their face, and they're coming into Cash with a positive mindset. They're going to need it, as they're going to have to take Cash to stay afloat in the series. Let's jump back in with your casters then, and they're hanging out talking about Cash.
Yes, indeed. Thank you very much, Alex. We are going to head into the game. It is Liquid versus Renegades. Map number 2, match number 2, day number 2.
A lot of twos. Where are you going with that one?
I wasn't going anywhere with it.
All right. Yes, and it is going to be. I mean, I thought I was actually surprised. I didn't realize that Liquid had lost with like 1 and 3 on this map with this lineup. That's a bit worrying. But
yeah.
I think you also have to look at guys like Elige and Twist and how well they played on Train, and so you give them the open space of Cash, and this could turn into a nightmare pretty quick. So it would be fun to see, especially considering also like the reliance of Liquid on the double up setup on that CT side of Train.
Yeah, I mean, I just enjoy watching this map. I think Cash is still a really, really fun map, so I'm sort of ready for it.
This is the map you think is the dark horse to be taken out next?
Yeah, well, I just said that there's a case to be made for it because it's the last non-Valve map in the pool.
Yeah.
And I don't know if Valve have any specific desire to control all of the maps, but I can see an advantage in doing it, like having sort of full creative control over all of it.
Okay.
I just think, I mean, I obviously want Cobblestone out, so I'm not trying to advocate for for that, but yeah. I want Cobblestone out or changed in some way. And I can't think of like any really sort of like
good changes to fix it.
So hard.
Yeah. All right. Well, yeah, we'll see if that ever actually happens, because Dust has been released for quite some time, or Dust 2, the new one.
Yeah, it has, and people seem to be enjoying it. Like a surprising amount of people, I feel like, are not complaining about it, because people tend to complain about everything, no matter what it is. Just as long as it's new, people are just ready to really be angry.
It is Dust 2, though. It is like the most iconic video game map across every video game ever created in the entirety of the world.
Yeah, it's true.
Well, we are going live. Everyone's readied up, about 3 seconds away from the Pisteron. Team Liquid is going to start on that CT side. Renegade's going to be on the T side, which you could argue like this is one of the maps where the T side starting is even a pretty good advantage. All things considered, we see some T sided halves on this map once in a while. Actually, I would say with decent frequency.
Yeah, I absolutely agree. I think it can be a bit deceptive sometimes. People tend to overreact a bit. If someone gets up to 9 rounds on T side, they sort of say, "Oh, that's it, it's all over," and it definitely is not. One smoke there, picked up by Nifty. A couple of flashbangs on him as well. A kit on Twist. So we'll see. Looks like they might be playing something of a retake on A, which is pretty common.
Yes, it is very common. Although, to be fair, when you play retake on A, there's a little bit more presence in the B bomb site. Naf and Twist were both by the truck, so perhaps some miscommunication. The bomb is all the way back in T spawn at the moment, so I think that's fortunate in that there was pretty much zero chance of some kind of a heavy assault pretty quickly while Naf and Twist kind of figured out that situation. Nifty running back to get it at the moment.
What a teammate.
Yeah, what a good guy. Boy, they need him in this game to get back into this series. Down 0-1. And Azza has been boosted up with Ustillo. Nifty with the utility. You imagine he's going to use that to help his teammates get out, perhaps. And there's a decent duel. Flashbang coming out just a tad bit late. Elige not affected by it whatsoever. Nifty's going to follow up with a bomb. This is an attempt at a mid-B split, and I think that's mostly been spotted out.
Yeah, they should have a good idea, but they're still not rotating that many people over now. They are starting to draw Twist back as well as Elige, so one good kill here to slow things down is all they need, and they're going to find Nitro in the back. That's a big kill for Ustillo. Now they can focus on the rest, but Steel coming in with a great headshot. He's going to get taken out in the meantime. Looked like he could have had a double there. It's working out in favor of Renegades. Oh, Naf coming in with one big kill on Azza. And now JKS right below him. They have no idea. This is a really bold play from Naf. And JKS with the bomb, going to try and make the jump up. He's caught out in the open for a moment. Very low on health, but the headshot is going to seal the deal. JKS, that requires a bit of guts to try and go for that kind of a peak.
Yeah, I actually really like that play. Naf obviously had him fooled. JKS had no idea it was coming and just misses a couple shots, and obviously running low on bullets, and there's nowhere to kind of go from there. So that was a play that really needed to land that kill within those first 3 or 4 shots. But nice job by Renegades. There was actually a pretty decent amount of defense mounted there even after Nitro went down in checkers. 1-0. Liquid buying up 4 CZs and a Deagle on Twist. I think the fun part about this map is it's always a unique experience to see how teams kind of handle mid, because no one likes messing with mid on this map on the CT side, just because it's so difficult to hold it. So it's always fun seeing how they mix it up with aggression in towards A main, aggression towards B bomb side. Are they going to stack mid?
Yeah, there are some character differences between the teams. There are some teams I feel like who like to do it a lot. Good flashbang and a great follow-up kill from Nitro. Love to see that.
Yeah, that was very cool. Obviously a planned peek, and Azza's going to sit this one out. A little bit fooled by that. Now, because of all that attention, they have given up mid, and this is what I'm talking about. They have no control of mid, and they need to gain something somewhere. So smoke out towards the squeaky door. Nitro and Naf now pushing up, and I don't think they're going to slow down whatsoever. The rest of Liquid rotating over towards the B bomb site. If they can stall out this hit for just a little bit, those flanks are going to be so brutal. Ustillo wrapping around through checkers. The CZ from Steel, he's got nowhere to go. No one else inside the B bomb site, but they need to hold on a little longer, and it's not happening. It was almost there. The idea was there, and just didn't quite come to fruition for Team Liquid. So 1-on-3.
Yeah, I mean, obviously seems unlikely that Twist is going to be able to win this, but there was definitely a moment where that was, I think, scarier than maybe Renegades realized right away.
Yeah.
Could have got very much out of control. Now they should be in a perfect position, and Twist is just hoping to get one more kill somewhere.
I think the timing of that hit, I think Liquid was kind of slow to react and to rotate over towards the B bomb site. If they were able to actually get in the site before Renegades, like, he threw the smokes and executes and flashbangs, I think that would have worked better. Just not able to do it. Good start for Renegades, though. They had that really nice start on the T side of Train after losing the pistol in the ensuing 2, and they went on that nice 5-round streak, but just couldn't hold on.
And you want to see Renegades, I think, off to a good start with a new roster. I think it's going to be, you know, a better team building experience for them if they can sort of do a good job right off the bat.
The interesting thing is, I think this Jacob's not an official member of the team, I don't think he's been signed. I think they're using him as a stand-in for this event.
Yeah.
So, I mean, it'll be interesting to see if, like, maybe he's kind of, like, plays his way into the roster, or if it's just kind of a Band-Aid for the moment.
I just feel like they've been hovering so long in that, like, sort of close to making a big position, but not all the way there. So, just, I feel like they need some success soon. This round is looking great. Twist and Naf, 2 versus 5.
They had some success when Naf was on the team. They won that event, the Starladder event, actually, in Shanghai.
Yeah?
Beat Virtus Pro in a BO5 finals.
I feel like that's... Yeah, I'll give him that. I was going to say...
Yeah?
I think that was one of those, like, weird events where, like, yeah, just maybe, like, I don't know, a lot of other teams didn't show up.
Okay.
I'm not trying to, like, undermine them. I'm just saying.
Sure, sure.
Okay, maybe I am Moses.
Yeah, just trying to make that as politically correct of an answer as humanly possible. Really struggling with it. 3-0 for Renegades. They're off to the races.
This is not bad at all.
This is interesting. Tactical pause on round 4. And you can see Kassad, like, immediately huddled into the ear of Nifty, even though they're wearing headsets and on TeamSpeak. But really making sure that him and Nifty are on the same page in terms of how to play out this T side.
Yeah, you want to see that. This is a kind of a critical round. Again, every time you're in that 4th round, CT's just able to buy. You obviously want to inflict a lot of damage onto them, and maybe this is going to be a good round for that. They've got a lot of utility. There's so many Molotovs. They can be used on either A or B. I mean, there's just
or mid,
yeah.
Yeah. If you look back over like this map and like the previous, the history of CS:GO, as it's been played over the few years, there's been such cool Molotov strategies. I think this is probably one of the maps that lends itself most to different Molotov tactics, which is really, really cool. You don't see somewhere like the same full-blown firebomb the bomb site executes as you used to, but it still plays a big part. Part of it is that the meta has always shifted for the CT team on how they use their smokes to prevent those kind of huge fire executes from being impactful.
Smoke towards the middle on the CT side, just making sure they don't have to focus on everything all at once. And Nitro, I think, realizing if I take a fight here, then it's just my head showing most of the time. Might not be worth it. His
whole job there is just to spot for the information of like what the timing of when they take mid. He doesn't actually want to take that fight. He just wants to know that they're out.
Man.
Or not out, for that matter.
Steel is going to be in an awkward position. Naf might be able to help him out for a bit, but this is kind of a all or nothing position. Naf waiting inside of the fire, going to try and go for a late peek. There's Steel picking up one, but he's got so many angles to work with, and that was maybe never going to work out exactly like they wanted. Nitro couldn't even get into position. There was a Molotov waiting for him. So very well done. Renegades opening up the bomb site. Looked like they had everything planned out, using the Molotovs to deny Naf, to deny Nitro, and Steel had no backup at all. Liege getting shot in the face as they're getting that one for the double, and Twist now probably just has to back off.
Yeah, Liege had a chance to make a play there. Just as we talked about how effective Molotovs can be, one falls into checkers, forces Naf to make an awkward play, and then obviously Nitro with the response had a chance to kind of hold down the fort for his teammates, but when he transitions over to that headshot spot, there's fire already in the ground, so Molotov's netting Renegades at least 2 kills in this round, which is very nice. Twist not even able to land that kill, even though it looked like it should have been one, and Oz is going to take the guns away, so Renegades being ruthless in this round in a 4-0 start.
Yeah, that was so well done. You could just tell that they had it all planned out. So you like to see rounds like that when it just sort of clicks into place. You're still at back 10, and that's going to be just a great buy here. They'll have a little bit of armor on Steel. Is anyone else going to pick it up? Doesn't look like it. So, yeah, he's going to have a good time with the Mag 10.
Yeah, he should, certainly. And definitely if there's going to be a stack, which you kind of see 3 players heading over towards A right now. Elish has that pop flash for Nitro and Steel. So if they hear a decent presence in A main, they're going to want to get that out. At the moment, though, it's only Ustillo, and he's got his back turned just for that very eventuality. And here it comes. We'll see how it plays out with Ustillo. And actually, he gets taken out no matter what. Some decent kills coming out for Liquid, but nothing that's going to turn the round in their favor. And Twist had a chance, and Elish still being here is the last one, tapping away with the AK-47. It's pretty difficult to hit for some time, but JKS cleans him out.
Deny the ace of Jacob. That's just bad manners. Always gotta do that, Moses.
Deny the ace?
No, give.
Oh, give the ace?
Yeah.
No, aces are to be earned, Anders.
Really?
Yes.
You wouldn't give me the ace if I.
Absolutely not.
It's heartbreaking.
I might even TK you depending on the scenario. Double up setup. We saw this all day on train with the Liquid defense. Where's a pop flash? Do they want to get aggressive? Here they are boosting over. That Elige eats that one. This is looking good for Renegades. This is why it can be so difficult to defend mid, but look at the play. Elige's actually gone into the smoke, and that's the bomb. He can actually make this work. Tries to go over to the AK-47, but couldn't find it. All of his teammates are falling, though. This isn't ideal, and even Jacob even smoking off the bomb for himself, but like I said, everyone else is dying, and poor Elige is so alone.
Eventually he's going to get flanked, so the next fight is going to be against Azza Elige. Kind of sees it coming, but Azza just had a superior position there. And that will be Nafly. 1 versus 4. And a lot of chaos in the middle. I mean, when you're fighting through the smoke like that, it's hard to tell who's going to come out on top. But I think Renegades did a good job of slowing it down. You know, once they realized we're not 100% in control of this mid fight, so everyone just stay wherever they are and keep Elige on that side, and then pick up the rest.
Yeah, not panicking, because I mean, if they could have, you know, really gone crazy and had someone jump back into the smoke to try and recover the bomb and take that fight, and then you just start bleeding players out. But yeah, really good job. And that's also speaks to, you know, what we saw in Trey and the resiliency of them being down 15-6 or something like that, and then making that big comeback all the way to 12. So just showing, you know, this Renegades has really stepped up their performance in terms of the mental aspect of the game. 6-0 as the double op setup. The heavy investment into that is punished and destroyed from Team Liquid. So they're going to have to do another round of pistols and an MP9 on Elige.
And they don't even take one of the AWPs. They just don't even care about that. You don't really need one on T side, Cash, if you don't want it.
You can see that previous round is really like why so many teams have an issue with the C2K. The CT side of Cash is there's actually 3 players from Liquid were in middle. Yep. And it's just like, if you just catch an awkward timing, it's not even like a fancy flash. It was like underhanded through the smoke from one player in mid, and it just so happened that Elige was looking at it when it came through the smoke and popped, and that just kind of shatters any ability for that 3-man defense to be coordinated in any kind of way.
Yeah, and one of the 3 was by sandbags, and he was Molotov and smoked out at the same time. So, like, he just couldn't really...
Just to save his own life, he had to smoke himself off, and then that obviously denies him from being involved.
So a little bit of rough turn of events. Yeah, you're right. It is not easy, but the consequences of not holding middle are also pretty severe.
And that's why this can be such a T-sided map, and that's also why a lot of, you know, in-game leaders especially, I think this map is kind of a nightmare for them.
Yeah. I really like it. I think it's, even though it's been played so much, there are so many little fun details that can still be put to use, in my opinion. He's still going to try and make his way, get a little bit close to the headshot position. Actually, really good job. Naf and Nitro putting in some damage. Sadly, they are going to be overrun eventually. Nitro very low. 15 seconds here. They need to get close and just put that bomb down, which is awkwardly dropped. And as that headshot goes through, if Twist had been a bit closer, maybe he could have denied the plant, but it's still possible, and you almost want him to see him go for it here.
Yeah, JK has heard all those footsteps as well. We'd love to find JKS early on. 6 HP, 1 flashbang, and JKS is just going to hold the headshot angle for his teammate as Azza is inside the bomb site.
Sneaking on in. No kit means he's actually almost out of time already. It doesn't really seem like it, but he's got 1 chance here. That's a great flick. And as was flashed, there's no way that Twist could have known that. If he had kept flanking around, who knows what could have happened. It will be the round for Renegades, 7 in a row. This is beautiful.
The great irony is that flashbang that Twist throws that blinds Azza is what prevents him from peeking into where he was looking. So unfortunate, but almost there. Deals some economic damage. Not the biggest deal in the world for the T side, especially considering Nifty has 11,000. Azza has 12,500. Plenty of money on the side. Jacob has 7,500. Another double op setup coming out for Team Liquid, and Renegades sticking with this 5 AK, which makes them very mobile across this map, and they're using it to very good effect. 7-0. And that smoke is going to set off warnings inside of the Renegades' heads. There's a boost at the back there. Yusilo can peer underneath that smoke and is still aware of that. He's going to get into a good position. There's the opening up kill from Nitro.
That double up setup, second time that they have it, it has to pay off this time. Otherwise, that's a lot of rounds that you're just sort of waiting to get it back, and the payoff isn't there. You can't keep doing it. Yeah, if they can start winning rounds now, we still have an interesting first half on our hands, but it sort of has to be soon. And I feel like this position for Steel is just going to be so good. Everything suggests that they just have no idea. And indeed, JKS completely focused on something else. 5 versus 3.
And they almost, if you're Renegades, you almost have to pick up the pace here in this 3v5 before the rotation comes in. This needs to come out fast. Twist is the only one here at the moment with an AWP. Going to get into a new position, relocate. Grab an off angle, completely blinded, and there goes Ustilo. This should be a Liquid round, and indeed it will. And it could even be all 5 players surviving, which would be great considering the investment that went into it. Jacob falls. So Liquid's finally on the board in round 8. And able to make up some money to rebuy the utility. But they've got a lot of cash to burn through on the Renegade side.
Yeah, they really do, but now the game also changes a bit for Renegades, you know? They might have to change how they play now that they're up against double AWP setup.
Yes.
I look forward to seeing how that works out. I mean...
Well, they did beat it once or twice before, didn't they?
Yeah, and I think there are some really fast plays you can do on this map that are pretty good against just that kind of setup.
Oh, and Nifty grabs an off of his own, which up until now they've been playing with 5 AKs. So they switch things up. Some decent spam coming through. Jacob down to 46. Nifty had a tough time with the op on train. We'll see what he can do with it on cash. Have to say bomb site, he'll at least have a Twist he can duel against. And it's always sketchy when you play this kind of game with the smoke. And he actually, I think Twist spotted something. Grabs the leg shot onto Nifty, which is going to force him to be far more passive in the rest of this round. So maybe boost him up, put him in mid, obviously, and you just kind of camp him there with that AWP and have him cut the map in half, prevent rotations, prevent people from getting into vents, depending on where you want to go.
Molotov on the sandbags with nobody actually holding there, so should be just fine. 2 on the highway instead. Elige with a rifle, and Steel is actually going to be the one to pick up the first kill. That was in the vents. He goes down to Nifty, but it is still a 4-on-4. We'll see how this all works out. Naf ignoring the Molotov for the moment, letting a couple of people pass before he finally goes for the big hit. Could have been a double kill. You have to appreciate the fact that he tries to do that, because it's not such a bad idea at all. But it didn't really work out this time. Another retake in the bag here for Liquid. They desperately need it. If they can't make it work, then they're going to be reset. And Renegades, I mean, they're probably going to run away with the first half at that point. Like, it's very hard to imagine that Liquid could keep on fighting after that. Love the Molotovs bouncing right down on the bomb. The grenade as well. Going to tag up Jacob. And, oh, he gets the headshot. And the return for Twist is there. So now it's all on JKS. 1 versus 2, and he's going to get dropped by Elige, so this time it's a sensible retake.
He's making sure the ops can be salvaged. And yes, that was a very good retake. A sketchy scenario almost coming in there.
You like the little detail of Twist walking out and shooting through the floor there, yeah. There are... I've experimented a lot with trying to hit people in the corner from different ways.
Okay.
Yeah, you
How does it work?
Pretty good. You can actually do it from the ramp that people walk up, the one that always gets Molotovs.
Oh, really?
Yeah, but it's... I think it's... I've convinced myself it's too inconsistent to realistically use in like a high-level match. But, you know, I wanted to do it, Moses.
Yeah. Look at this. Changing up the pace, changing up the style. 4 players towards this B bomb site. Steel not able to get anything done. And once again, this Liquid defense has been, I mean, it's struggled at the B bomb site at times. Snaf has played checkers a number of times, but it hasn't really worked out for him too well. Elige is going to push through up top, but they've lost the site. They had a trouble in the previous round with rotating over, and actually could be an easy kill, but Jacob's watching for it, and Liquid might have to give this up. Naf has to be a hero. Oh, that TK, that helps so much. That is actually a disaster, the timing of that TK coming out.
Nifty trying to bring it back, getting another headshot. Ustilo's gone down, but TKs and all, they still win the round. I'm not even sure how it happened. Ustilo just getting a little bit anxious.
Yeah.
A little bit panicked.
Some damage coming out. You know, Renegades has done a really good job of exploiting this B bomb site. If I'm them, I'm just pounding that that bomb site until Liquid prove they can actually hold it consistently, because they've done a great job. Now, to be fair, they do have 8 rounds out of 10, so they've been winning pretty much everywhere they go.
Yeah, and the money's really awful for Liquid, but they probably feel at this point like they sort of have to try and force it, just because they can't really just keep on giving away rounds. It's getting a bit out of control. 2-8, pretty big stack towards the A-bomb site. Nobody in middle just now. Is there going to be a flashbang in? Elise setting up for it. It's a good job with the MP9, but they need more, and Jacob is not going to give it to them. Takes down Elise and Nitro, and now it's a little bit of a problem for the CT side. Continuing is Nifty, taking down Twist. Naf actually doing a remarkable job with the C-set 75, but it's not enough. Nifty doing all the work in this round, or nearly all of it, with the triple. 9-2, and they'd bought into this round.
Yeah, they really had, and now they've got essentially nothing to work with. So, big gamble for Liquid in terms of their economy in that previous one, and Renegades just picks them apart. And this isn't even really a fancy T-side whatsoever, is it? Especially now that they have such a big lead in terms of their money, they can really just start bullying Liquid all over the map. And we've seen a number of times Liquid wants to have the double upset about. They want to use 2 AWPs on this side, and they're probably not going to get it again for the rest of this half unless they are able to win a round and pick up a free one. Because the next round they're just going to have to buy. They just need some of these rounds on the board. And this round, Renegades already has mid control.
I feel like almost all of the fights that happen towards mid or towards checkered mainly are just fights where you can almost tell that Liquid, they just sort of, like they've only just got in position and then there's like 3 people on them. Like they don't get that sort of mental reset where they're like, okay, I'm here and I'm holding a corner and I'm getting some information. Like there's no warm up at all in any of these positions. They're there and then the whole team is on them. It's so quick.
I feel like Renegades has actually a much better grasp of the T side on this map than they did on Train, and they've done a couple different timings. So essentially, like Liquid never is able to get into that comfortable groove where they know, oh, we're gonna have 30, 40 seconds of like setup time for this round. We're just going to use the utility and the smokes, and then all of a sudden Renegades is busting in when they least expect it. This has to be a buy for Liquid, and they are. They're going to bring up the M4, so no AWP is going to be on the board. Steel can buy one, but it'd be Glass Cannon, and he'd likely have to use it. So we're going to get a pause out of Liquid as they want to talk things over. This is quite nice.
Change of pace, I would say.
Yeah.
For Renegades, and unlike, in the first map, they had a couple of moments where they looked like this, but then they couldn't sort of hold on to it. Like they took their foot off the pedal at one point, and that was enough for Liquid to come back. Now it really seems like then just not doing that, which is great news. Love to see it. Once you've got them down on the mat, Moses, just choke them all the way out,
Jesus Christ.
Even when the referee
tells you to stop.
Trying to get your arm away. Don't.
Oh, you need Jesus.
Well, I don't think he does wrestling.
Timeout has ended. Ooh, that's fancy.
Back to the mushrooms, are we? It's the 13th round. And we do have Nifty still in the AWP. M4 all around, that's fine. Couple of grenades, that's fine. No defuse kit, it's definitely not fine. And no Molotovs for any kind of a retake, also a little bit of an issue. Again, they're setting up for what looks like a really fast push. Steel and Naf are going to have to just hold on very well. And I'm not sure it's going to really happen. We've temporarily lost one of the monsters. Hopefully you guys still have one. Steel is going to be going down to you, Stillo. That's the first problem. Now Naf has been smoked out. So, that kind of defense is essentially unacceptable, One smoke separates Naf and Steel.
Yeah.
And then that's just the round.
Well, in their defense, they've tried a couple different looks at that B-bomb side. Remember, Naf has played in checkers a lot.
Don't defend them, Moses.
Don't defend them? Okay. But again, let's just go back to it because this is another part of Cash that is so dangerous. Is even on the T side, Renegades is all the money in the world. But even if you don't, the strategies where you just basically use one flashbang, and essentially Liquid's smoke can be used against them because if you smoke that choke point, and you're just like looking at it to see if someone's going to come through. You eat a flash in the face, as Steel did, and they come right through it. That's very effective on this map at both bomb sites, really. So it is dangerous. And oh, see, exactly like that. Although to be fair, all the kills this time go Liquid's way. But at this point, just piling it on is Renegades, 11-2.
Yeah, I love everything that they're doing right now. That the confidence is out of control, and like they've got very good reads. You know.
I've played the core of this Renegades lineup on Cash in a show match.
How was that?
It's not fun. I'm not gonna lie to you.
Come on, Moses.
Oh.
Just somewhere in there, there's some of it is still left. Bring out CPL Moses, you know.
Yeah.
Did you? I swear you always tell me about the time you beat Kogu in a game.
That's because you have like you love Kogu. You love like all the old oppers like Kogu and Markelov.
Yeah. Kogu to me is Brazilian Markelov, so.
Yeah, that's fair.
Actually, the comeback for him was pretty short, but it was well worth it.
Short but sweet.
I enjoyed it.
You got to cast him at E-League?
Yeah, you have no idea how much I enjoyed that. But
did you enjoy it more than shooting under trains?
That's a difficult one. No, I think I enjoyed the Kogu one more.
Okay.
Now, but the Markelov comeback Moses is going to be unbelievable when it happens. So just wait for that.
It's going to be epic. Elige with the opening kill, a 5-on-4 now for Liquid. He's got to do more, and that's nice. That's a good recovery. Shuts down Usilo before we can get started. Finally, some signs of life out of Team Liquid. They desperately need these last 2 rounds if they want to be able to come back into the second half. You need to have something you can work with, and Elige waiting for that. So he's got 3 kills, found 3 individual fights.
Nifty sneaking in. He kind of suspects that this is happening. I think he actually went for that peak for that very reason. It doesn't work out, and it's a bit odd, isn't it? You know, they lose so many rounds, and then when they finally win one, everyone survives. It's just a flawless round for them.
Yeah,
so
why not? Well, that time it was a little bit more spread out and slow and individualistic than for Renegades than some of the previous rounds. That's where I think Liquid's really struggled on this defense is with some of the pace and some of the different executes and some of the different timings that Renegades have had, they've really done a good job of getting themselves an advantage in pretty much every bomb site they've attacked. Double up setup again from Liquid. Nitro's going to take it over towards the B bomb site. He's got Steel with him here. Naf, Twist, and Elige towards A, which is unfortunate because it is very fast-paced mid-control for Renegades, and Ustilo is already at the base of Highway. Now, if they do try and go up towards A, Twist is watching with an op, and A main is controlled by Nafly.
It's very hard to hold this A bomb site when you've got this many angles. So luckily, Twist is going to pick up the kill on Nifty. That's a very good start indeed. And that was the AWP being rotated into place for Nitro, ready to take that kill on Jacob if he was going to try and get through the vent. Naf a little bit aggressive, and that's going to be rewarded almost instantly. So looking a lot better for Liquid, gunning for that 4th round. It's definitely well within reach.
Yeah, they've done a good job. I mean, even while this mid take is happening and they know there's presence in mid, Liquid has thinned the herd on the extremities of the map, so they've really shrunk things for Renegades. It's basically just Ustilo in mid and now the B bomb site. Jacob trying to see if he can create something for the team. He really wants to find a kill at this B bomb site to allow them to bust up Highway and maybe catch Twist in no man's land, which is a possibility right now. They swing out. It's a very shallow angle, though, and Twist can get away, especially with help from the Molotov. He's still going right through it. Through it. He's still going right through it, and even JK's burning alive.
Oh. Took a while before that fire caught onto him.
Yeah, it did.
Maybe he could have been maybe worth it to wait on the other side. It's kind of hard to make that call because they didn't have that much time left, so I kind of understand why you still wanted to try and fight that. I mean...
Yeah, and I mean, maybe he's thinking Twist might not be prepared because the Molotov might not think he's going to come through it. Either way, Liquid do get those last 2, so they do just scrape their way to 4 rounds. It's not ideal. It's not great. They have a big half ahead of them if they want to make a comeback. And Renegades, surely, I mean, if you're looking to equalize this series at 1-1, that's about the best half you could hope for. And a very Very nice spread for Renegades in terms of their frags. It was not just like one player going off and going nuts. It was everyone kind of contributing at different points.
Yeah, I agree. Like just a really, really cool first half. 11-4, obviously, huge lead for them. Win the pistol round here, and you pretty much guarantee yourself a map 3, which for Renegades, I feel like they're going to be. I think they really want that. I feel like they probably must have walked out of the first map thinking we didn't really get much of a chance to show what we were actually all about. You know, like we couldn't really do enough, and now they've definitely got the chance.
Well, Yusila gives up his position, pretty aggressive in A main, and Elige is at the door and could cut him off if he realizes that he stuck around. And Alza is watching from Highway, but that's not the most. It's not something you can necessarily rely on. Naf going to meet up with Elige in the door. The rest of the 3 going towards A main. Yusila is still spotting this, and they're going to open door, I would assume, right now and try and pick him off, but it's not going to happen.
Yeah, I'm surprised by that as well. It seemed like that would have been the obvious choice, but Elige must have heard him falling back, decided not to try and jump on it. It still looks like they're combining for an A execute, so once they go for it, there's 2 people here, another one on the highway, that's Nifty. Those are the only 3 people that are going to be there in time. The rest are going to have to sort of go for the afterplant if they can't just win the fight right away. Molotov on Nitro might be absolutely huge into that corner. You're still already a little bit low. Azza trying to make it work. You're still getting great headshots, making it a double. Azza can't find the kill, and the aim punch is just a little bit too much. But the bomb is down with 30 seconds, and Nifty staying by the forklift. He's going to get one more headshot. That's a big play. A double of his own, and now it's all on Twist. Scrambling to try and find the last couple of kills here, but he's only got 17 seconds, and they're just waiting for it. No reason why Renegades have to show themselves at all. Very smart play for them at this point. And Twist getting one and finally get shut down. Great job.
What a round from Yusilo.
Yeah.
He got goosed right at the start, down to red HP, and still handles it very nicely with 2 headshots. And that's massive. And yeah, that third player being there, those 2 kills coming out allows more rotations to come in, buys a little bit more time. But having that third player was actually huge for the Renegade side of things. And you had some nice shots from Nifty onto this, and Renegade's in full control of this game. No plant. Liquid's going to buy up. They only have 1 smoke. They got to rely on these deagles. 3 deagles on Twist, Naf, and Elige. Renegade's looking to, put an exclamation point on this map and just wrap it up quickly.
Yeah, just give him a right old spanking and send him into the third map. It's always a good plan. Nifty does go down. Just we were celebrating the the joy of Renegades winning. So want to be careful. Obviously, carry it all the way through. You'd hate to imagine what would happen to Renegades if Liquid turn around and get back into the second half here.
Naf's trying to get aggressive, and he has Elige with a deagle, and Twist was in mid-main choke point, covering him as he moved up. And Renegades doesn't really see what's coming, but they're about to have a very bad time. Liquid rotating themselves towards the B bomb site, and there's no defense here whatsoever, which is wild. Jacob now getting into position, but it's not going to be great. He would have to have some very nice shots. He spots Elige out. That's a good headshot. That's a good start. Could use more. No one from Liquid, no one else offering themselves up, although Jacob does spot it. And it is going to be an attempted retake from Renegades.
They don't have that many grenades, but luckily JKS has some utility that can be used here. They just need to breach the vent, and then they should be good to go. Yusilo setting up for it. This is going to be a big retake. They need it. Renegades can't give up this one round. Just shut this one on Liquid. And if they invite them back in the game, who knows what could happen. Azza goes down. Jacob next in line, and now JKS never got a chance to use any of those grenades. Twisted the double, and yeah, moment of pause here. As everyone wonders, was that the round?
Uh-oh.
Uh-oh.
12-5. But Liquid are going to have control of the money now, at least for the next few rounds. Although Renegade's going to buy up into this, so that's scary in a way in its own right. Nifty even investing the offer, so sitting perhaps a round out of the AWP, and JKS a full investment as well. 3 Deagles, 2 CZs on the CT side. We'll see what they have to offer us.
Nifty just channeling something to try and see if he could get the shot through.
Just praying.
Yeah, exactly.
It's like close your eyes and click the mouse. Nice kill from Naf. Taking control of A main very, very quickly. Azza is still here. He's got to hear these footsteps, but no, apparently not. Maybe someone was talking to him. Either way, free kill. Naf's going to just continue forward. So 3 for him as he taps away with the UMP. And now the AK, these last 2 pistols from Renegades are kind of trapped. And surely they'll get taken down. Although great kill coming out until Twist gets the double. And if he had gone down there and all of a sudden it's in a 2-on-2, that would have been, I don't know, would have been nice. Would have been cool.
Why is he just flying into the bomb site, Naf? Like, what's wrong with him?
Why not? It obviously worked. I'm confused by Azza because it's not like we're in a studio, right? Like, there's not like a crowd.
Yeah.
You're not having. So I'm just confused with how he didn't hear those footsteps. But yeah, that third kill was a bit wild.
Just a little bit. 12-6, and you're right. He probably should have been able to hear that. Maybe he was preoccupied. Maybe somebody else was talking. You know.
Yeah, it could have been something.
A lot of people stacked, ready to get grenaded if anyone tries to throw one into the wall.
This is like the counter Naf strategy. They're waiting. There's the flashbang. Unfortunately, he was back far enough in main, and Elige is going to get a death match. He's got 4, not 5.
And Naf hungry for the last kill. Should have spotted it out. Oh, good damage being output here from Azza. Fortunately, not enough. Another round for Liquid. The gap slowly closing now, 7-12. It's only a 5-round gap, which is actually not that much.
No, it's really not, and especially if you start getting on this win and you have control of the money. I mean, that we saw how fast Renegades could build up a lead. It's the same way in terms of Liquid being able to equalize the score. It all starts with this round. Naf is going to be on the MAC-10, 4 AK-47s, and there's a lack of head armor on 3 players and no AWP on Renegades. No kits as well. What does Liquid bring out? 4 towards the B bomb site. Naf and mid. They have a ton of smokes out mid just to confuse people, but here they come, running through. Nitro with the opening kill. JKS has got to survive that nade. Look good, but the adjustment that Liquid made pretty much negates it, and it's a 3-on-3.
Yeah, it looked like that grenade was going to be dead on, but you're right. They did just move a little bit too far to the left. The bomb goes down. Renegades. They've had to save a while to get these rifles. If Liquid can close this round on them, that's absolutely going to be devastating. Good smoke to block off. That's beautiful. Trying to see if he can block out anyone on that side. Twist getting one. Big kill on Azza. Now Elige in a good position. You're still going to win the fight. And that leaves Naf. The bomb is planted for him, so he can stay here for a while. He's even got the Molotov. They have a smoke, though, and Azza's already going to put it up on the bomb. And Naf, he will have heard that, trying to make it through. But that smoke on the bomb did everything they wanted. Don't have a kit, but still defusing on the site, and yeah, they're going to have it in time. So really, really big round. Great retake for Renegades. Saving that one smoke is huge.
Yeah, that was nice because you could see Naf actually pulls the Molotov out and then has to reconsider when he hears it plume. Still plenty of money, especially with the $800 bonus that Team Liquid's going to have. And Renegades are not out of it just yet. This would be that hard reset if they were to lose this one. They don't have anything really built up. So a chance still for Liquid to claw back into this. But you could see, I mean, it is a very simple strategy. There was one in mid, just Naf just causing some distraction, throwing all of his utility. 4 hit the B bomb site, and it ends up at least getting them a plant. There's a good opening kill from Nitro, and he follows it up with a second. Single-handedly taking over mid at such a fast pace, and now the defense, if you're Renegades, you just have nowhere to go. That's the bomb down, so that'll slow things down and allow them to kind of catch a breath and communicate and decide where to go from here.
Kind of an interesting game all of a sudden. That kind of opening from Nitro with a double kill. I mean, if you can have even a couple of rounds like that. That might be enough to bring it back to an even scoreline. Like, the money for Renegades is still really bad. Barely won that last round, 2 versus 1.
I like this, though. You have to be mobile on the defense if you want to come back in this scenario. So Jacob and Yusilo both meeting up in mid, and they do find Elige. And that's the go signal from for Liquid. JKS dodging flames, holding an off angle. Yusilo and Jacob are already here, though, so there's a chance they recover in this.
Yeah, that's the bomb committed to the bomb site. Flashbang from a teammate to try and help out JKS, and so far just surviving for a minute. Will eventually go down, still a 2-on-2. That Molotov going to have to force Naf out of position. Steel can't really help him out just yet. They've picked up the bomb, and Neff is just running with it. He's actually committed to this. Now, can Steel sell the idea? I think they know Renegades what's coming. Steel is going to try and creep in and catch them as they rotate out. Very low on health. Still, how is he still alive? Absolute madness. 10 seconds, so Neff can't take a long fight here. And he's got the bomb out. That's the round done.
Yeah, what a good read from Renegades to cheat on the rotate. Also sticking together, you still are just barely surviving. If he goes down there and Jacob has to decide to look A or B, that gets really, really tough. But Renegades not fooled whatsoever by Liquid. Can't really fault him too much for that call, although I think Steel being so close to that choke point on the lower ramp might have been able to help take that B bomb site easier if he just had turned around again. But regardless, easy to criticize in that moment. 7-14, and AWP is out in Twist hands.
We're getting to a point now where they're sort of running out of rounds to play with here, Liquid. It was getting exciting for a moment because it looked like they were going to be able to close the gap, but I feel like Renegades they found the strength internally to sort of make this round work and this second half work. And I feel like Cash is it looks looking like a pretty comfortable map for them right now. Their T side was good. They had a really good understanding, as we said, and they kept the pressure on all the way through. The CT side has been pretty respectable.
It's the same way. They're just showing like a pretty solid understanding and a good knowledge of how to play it. JKS has pushed out B. There's a smoke, so he's not gathering too much information, but that's allowing Jacob to cheat over towards A. They're taking the risk, and it's looking like it might just pay off for him. There's the opening kill from Jacob as he gets into position. Ustilo as well chiming in. They line up for him. He could spray down 2, and he does. There's the 4th kill total in the round for Ustilo. A strong hold on that A bomb site, and I think that pretty much seals it.
Yeah, it's hard to imagine that anything is going to happen now. I mean, for one thing, they just don't have the money either, but yeah, Renegades really, I think, making a bit of a statement. I guess one of the problems is when you have a good map like this and your map pool might not be as deep, what are the chances that another team in the future, like tomorrow, will allow you to play Cash again?
Not a lot of teams play Cash to begin with. So yeah,
it's even more true.
Yep. So kind of sucks for Renegades, I guess. But yeah, they have looked very, very good. Smoke's going to block off the choke point.
It's taking the wind out of their sails.
It's like, congratulations, you're good on Cash. You will never play it again. Smoke's out, Molotov's out, Naf's going to be forced back. He's still burning, down to 19 HP. And Ustilo is getting sneaky. This could be checkmate. Oh, that's a nice flashbang, though, but certainly they don't clear him out of this spot. They don't check it. Why would you? He's unblind now. Easy spray down, follows it up onto Nitro. He's been great. All of Renegades has been great. And this is a dominant map from them. 16-7.
Just very well done. Absolutely beautiful. The kind of stuff that we didn't get to see out of them on the first map definitely happened on map number 2. That means we're going to go to map number 3. Great series. I mean, I'm kind of curious. I hope it's going to be a good map for the both of them, because I feel like it's it would be fun to see them both on somewhat even territory.
Yeah, Cash did feel a little bit unfair at one point, didn't it?
Just a little bit.
Poor guys. You just got to say, well played to Renegades. And as well, I mean, you started out, and it might be a small detail, and maybe it didn't have the massive impact that I'll put on it right now, but very cool to see the very first gun round of the game, Kassad calling the timeout, leaning down to Nifty and say, this is the game plan for the T side. Let's make sure we're on the same page. Let's make sure you know what's coming and what we're going to call and how we're going to play this. And then they run out to an 11-4 scoreline. So great work between the coach and the in-game leader.
Yeah, you love that hands-on approach to really make sure that they don't give up a crucial round like that. So definitely good job. We're going to go to a quick break. When we come back, it's going to be the analyst desk and then obviously map number 3. So stay with us. We'll be back.
watching seasons change. Our roads were lined with adventure, mountains in the way couldn't keep us from the sea. Here we stand open arms. This is home where we are, ever strong in the world that we made. I still hear you in the breeze, see your shadows in the trees, holding on, memories never change.
I don't know what you want. Let's have a bit of fun till I downfall. My love, if you feel like I do right now, don't say you're on the run to the other side. My love, you say you wanna try, but you never do. Sugar, there's a reason why we lose. You say you wanna cry, but you never do. Sugar, there's a reason why we lose. I don't know what you want. Let's have a bit of fun till I downfall. My love, if you feel like I do right now, don't say you're on the run to the other side. My love, you say you wanna try, but you never do. Sugar, there's a reason why we lose. gazing far into the night. I raise my hand to the fire, but it's no use, 'cause you can't stop it from shining through. It's true, baby, let the light shine through. If you believe it's true, baby, won't you let the light shine through for you. Eyes in the sky, gazing far into the night. I raise my hand to the fire, but it's no use, 'cause you can't stop it from shining through. It's true, baby, let the light shine through. If you believe it's true, baby, won't you let the light shine through for you. Eyes in the sky, gazing far into the night. I raise my hand to the fire, but it's no use, 'cause you can't stop it from shining through. It's true, baby, let the light shine through. If you believe it's true, baby, won't you let the light shine through for you.
I can't find my way back to you until you make amends with the demons you've been through. And I can't regret leaving you alone until you find your way back home. Until you find your way back home.
as if he was lighting them up every time they wanted to go to that bomb site. I think they'll have an easier time towards B. I think Renegades have made some changes in their CT hold, so I'm not quite sure who will be defending over there when we see them play. I didn't catch the G2 game yesterday, unfortunately. But another thing to note is when Liquid played against Astralis, Astralis were very aggressive and wanted to take a lot of duels in middle. That's something which I'm sure the Liquid guys are going to note that is a playstyle Renegades do like to do. As I used to like to get very aggressive in that midsection. But I think it's a different kettle of fish in the sense of they're going up against an opponent who Liquid should be able to handle their mid-aggression.
They're smiling, chat.
Yeah,
so fun
so
games
far,
in
so
Renegades
good.
camp.
Well, that's
I
good.
didn't see that ever since you left.
Yeah.
Smiles creeping
Barring
onto
that
the
one
faces.
tournament win in China.
Yeah, they smiled then.
Yeah, big smiles, I'm sure. We've
Kinda.
got a fantastic, fantastic picture or video. You can see it in the show reel. You can see them lifting the trophy. That is exciting. But they're not there yet. In fact, currently, they're staring down the barrel of a potential 0-2. In order to scrape away from that and level themselves out, they need this map. As the Liquid, let's jump in then with your casters as it all comes down to Mirage.
Yes, indeed, Alex. You are right as ever. Final map here in the best of 3. How are you doing, Moses?
I'm doing good. They were smiling because Naf made a dodgeball joke. It's a bold move, Cotton.
Yeah.
They weren't smiling because they were excited about the game. They were smiling because it was a funny joke.
And I think he said that because I think they picked T-side even though they won the knife round.
Yeah.
So that is a bold move.
Smiles have been explained.
Yeah, we've got that out of the way.
Yeah, we've nailed it. Map 3, Mirage. This is...
Great map.
Yeah. I don't think that we're going to see Renegades being nearly as aggressive and coordinated in mid as we saw Astralis against Liquid on this map. Because remember, like that's how Astralis just battered these guys. It was like challenging every fight in mid. I don't think we're going to see that out of Renegades.
I mean, the kind of T-side play that we saw on Cash is it's kind of hard to replicate on Mirage. Like you can't. The problem is on Cash when you show up at the entrance of a bomb site. Like once you turn that corner and you're sort of on the bomb site, from beginning to end on the bomb site, it's just a very short distance, right?
Yeah.
So you're everywhere all at once. Whereas on Mirage, that's not. I mean, it may be for B, but on A certainly, you have to fight a long time before you even get sort of in there and get the bomb down. So a little bit different, and maybe Liquid could exploit that.
And you better have a lot of you need the utility to get into the bomb site as well, which also kind of gives away where you're coming from. So yeah, we'll see how this kind of pans out for Renegades, but obviously. Some successful T-sides, all things considered. They had a pretty good T-side on Train as well, so they've done a very good job with the offense. Very good calling from Nifty. Look at this. Towards the B-bomb site. 3 players here. Steel, Naf, and Elige just there for the rush, and no one is actually in A. And what sucks about this for Team Liquid, maybe a mistake, I feel, is that since they have no one on A, there's no information. Although, now that Nitro's pushed up mid, he spots JKS rotating back. Now they know what's coming, but the retake is going to be so difficult. Naf just doesn't care, though. He doesn't care whatsoever. He's jumping in. He's going for the fight. Oz on Catwalk is going to start winning everything, though. And Jacob and Ozzo, once again, shut down any opportunity for Team Liquid to even get involved.
That was very weird.
That was wacky, wasn't it?
They had the perfect setup to stop that B push.
Yep.
Just straight up would have won the round if they had done nothing. But I think you're absolutely right. The fact that they didn't know what was happening in A, all they could hear in A were like the flashes when they were in middle. They could hear them pop in A bomb site. They don't really know anything, so they maybe slightly panic and rotate a couple of people out of B.
They don't know what's happening until one of the players who threw utility at A gets all the way back to the entrance to those B halls. And that's when like Nitro spotted it out and was like, oh no, he's going back to B. It's going to be a B hit. But by then, like you saw, Naf had to like desperately jump out of the window to even have a chance of getting a kill. Investment. There's some pistols on the board for the Liquid side. 5 players heading towards A. There's only 2 players here. Elige, that would have been a cool double kill, but it's not going to happen.
No, unfortunately, that would have it made it very awkward for the other 3 players to get out of A ramp if that had worked out, but it didn't. When the bomb is down and everyone seems to be circling back around through T spawn, can they maybe try and pick up a rifle up there somewhere? Maybe make that part of it work. Either way, Renegades off to another good start here, which is what you want to see if you're a fan of the Renegades. JKS stealing the Galil and running away. So the rest are not going to have much of a chance. Maybe just save the C sets for the upcoming round. There's not much really finesse in that round, but it worked. So who cares?
No, I mean, there wasn't really a whole lot of finesse in some of their cash rounds either. It's just kind of like some very good trades and brute forcing into the bomb site. So continuing that trend here in the anti-force buy. And then the other thing to note is I'm pretty sure everyone from Liquid invested in that round. So there's not There's no money on the Oppers, which both maps they've been using double op setup. So Nitro, Twist, NAF, all those guys, none of them are going to have the AWP into the next round. So it's going to have to be 4 or 5 rifles.
I mean, if that is what works against Liquid, if Renegades have sort of decided, okay, you know, if we crush an empty beer can on our foreheads and just run into a bomb site while shooting AKs all around, then it's great. Should do that.
Yeah, they're going to do it again, it looks like. Just walking over to this A bomb site. No utility, no nades on Liquid. They're setting up for a mid-crunch, but Renegades is going to circumvent that, just like you said, just setting up and going into the A bomb site, all the utility. Naf might as well keep his armor. Same with Steel, even with the no head armor. No reason to force yourself into rebuying that into the next round. Steel can't really upgrade into head armor, but it might not matter so much. They're going to try and get some AKs. Even a Galil would be nice. Maybe even a UMP could make them happy.
Well, there's one. JK going down. They can pick it up and try and make a run for it, unless they get caught by JKS, who is in the apartments and can maybe close them out. Yeah, they're actually getting boxed in quite heavily.
Which is smart from Renegades. You don't want them to keep that AK-47. You want to take all those guns away, and that's a good start. Now Nifty's going to peek from the other side. Twist has that AK-47, and it almost feels like there's no chance he gets away with that. Nicely
Very good job.
done, yeah.
I really like this. I think...
Ruthless.
Yeah, but you know, I realize we're making sort of a bit of a joke out of it, but I actually think, let's say the antithesis of this kind of Counter-Strike is the one where, you know, you're very hesitant and you're sort of you're all the time sort of second guessing yourself, and I hate watching that. It's so obnoxious, you know. So I really like this from Renegades. I think this is great, you know. Like, as long as they can keep it up, as long as it still works, then by all means, just keep doing it, because Liquid have to be, they're the ones that have to prove that they can come up with a solution, that they can stop this madness.
They've got to do it without a whole lot of nades. Mid control goes the way of Renegades. Liquid really can't fight for it. Nitro is blocked off by smoke, so Naf has to get passive, and it's all down to timing between Jacob coming up, catwalking him. They get into a bit of a duel, and there's a good win. Actually, Naf isn't even touched. Molotov into the window room. Nitro is forced away. All of Renegades kind of centered around this A bomb site. Usilo in connector, Aza in mid. Nifty and JKS are going to come out of Palace.
Plenty of time, but they have to make their move eventually. Nice little Molotov down towards Twist. Would have been really great, but they don't get one. Instead, he's going to pick up a kill, very nearly a double. Can almost attribute that one on Nifty to him. That's the round thoroughly closed out by Liquid. So first buy round, and it works out great for them.
Needed it as well to have all 5 players survive. Build up some money, make sure you can kind of sustain some of the losses you may take. And it's going to get a little harder before it gets better for Team Liquid. Nifty's going to have the AWP into this round. They have full utility. So does Liquid, to be fair. Naf actually swapped out an M4 thinking he was going to get an AK-47. He picked up a Galil. That's depressing. That's a facepalm moment.
Yeah, you hate to see that happen. But that did look like it was going to be a slightly more elaborate round from Renegades. I understand why they want to take that position against Naf. Ooh, that's a great flashbang. No chance at all for JKS. Now Liquid sort of answering back a bit, saying, you know, if you're going to just be that aggressive, maybe we'll just catch you off before you even get close to the setup.
Which is really good. That's what, oh, that Galil really failed Naf there. So yeah, definitely going to be frustrated with that one. There's a gap in the smoke though, and Jacob's going to fall prey to it. Steel has got a couple kills over towards the B bomb site. 3 HP left on him, but he does a very, very good job. And this AWP hasn't even been able to get involved. Hasn't fired a shot yet in this round, and he's down to 24 HP as well. And it is good to see Liquid open up this half with some aggression, like that Halls push. It's one way to get yourself kind of like artificially focused, is to be proactive in that sense, especially if you just spent all of cash on the CT side, like never really having a chance as well. You know, you were kind of taken out of a lot of rounds just by the lack of success, just by the openings that Renegades were taking. So I like this start from Liquid on the CT side, certainly.
I think Yanko was making this point. I mean, he was using the example of the B defender, that people sometimes complain about the fact that they don't really have anything to do, and I think Yanko is right in saying, well, just, you know, find something to do then. You know, instead of waiting around all day, just, you know, come up with a solution that's going to help out your teammate.
Yeah. It's not always the easiest thing to do. I will say that.
Listen, Yanko doesn't want to hear that kind of talk, Moses.
No, he doesn't. No, I mean, it's obviously a very good idea. And when teams are successful in being aggressive in the B halls, it's a huge benefit to the rest of their defense on the other side of the map.
One flash for a bomb plant. Azza just put it in, and they're down on the site. It looks like they're going to get chewed up a little bit just in time. Well done. Not at all bad.
No, very good investment. Very good return on the money. So the extra $800 is going to go a long way for Renegades. Yeah, they have they're flush with cash at the moment. They're going to get anything they could possibly want. Azza can drop the AWP over to Nifty as well to ensure that he can get full kit. So 3-3. Renegades on cash hopped out to what? It was something like 8-1 or 9-0 or something crazy like that before responding. And Liquid in this one doesn't let it get that far ahead. They've built up a good amount of cash behind their buys as well. They've had a very successful stretch of 3 rounds, only losing 2 players across all 3 of them.
That's very unusual. That doesn't happen all that often, so they should be quite happy about that. Trying for a blind shot, not really connecting with anyone, does obviously reveal the fact that he had the AWP in the window, but I don't think that's a big surprise. Naf being very aggressive. This is some really bold play, but I like the style from him. He's going to win the fight against Jacob, and the flashbang from a teammate is there, so he can actually get back alive. That's so well done, as it does get him, but Nafly, again, from beyond the grave, just reaching out his fiery tentacles and taking down Azza. Now 3-on-3 as JKS does pick up the kill on Twist. And what's going to happen next? So much time left in this round.
Yeah, this has been a very scrappy round, and I like the response from Team Liquid to help Naf fall back. That aggressive play, he Molotovs the underpass stairs. Alicia's there to protect anyone from peeking from top mid, and that works out. Naf does take that fight. The trade comes out. You can see the plan to allow him to be aggressive and then also retreat and fall back if he could. Alicia catches 2 players in mid off guard. That Molotov comes in but doesn't do nearly enough. And that's the turning point in this round. That's what kind of seals it. Steel's now going to take the opportunity to get aggressive in towards B halls, making Yanko proud.
Whoever Elise was fighting in that second fight, I can't remember now.
I think it was Justillo?
Justillo. I think Justillo's AK bullet caught the railing. And I'm not sure if that's what saved Elise, but there was a definite spark flying off one of those metal bars. So that is, if that's true, then that's obviously very, very annoying. Hate to see that. 4-3 the scoreline. That's Liquid bouncing back, not just a little bit, but just
in a big way.
Wrecking ball back into the game here. This is, yeah, I understand why Seuss is sort of, just looking a bit content in the background, happy that things are going well.
Just chilling. It's got to be fun to be a coach when your team is on like a nice 4-round winning streak. Well, Nitro with the AWP in window as well. Trying to find something, maybe a timing through the smoke, and we'll see. Is Steel going to get cold? He's been over at the B bomb site. They haven't really gone to him a whole lot, and he's going to have a chance here, and he's going to eat a flashbang. Molotov out. He's going to get back into the corner, turned around. Naf is here to help him out, cause a distraction, and they're all burning. So, yeah. Didn't fall asleep on the play, and obviously things get heated up instead of going cold.
Quite literally a Brazilian barbecue. My favorite thing was this, as you know.
Wouldn't that be the Brazilians in the fire if it was Brazilian barbecue or no?
He's in charge of the barbecue, Moses.
Okay.
He's the one,
Yeah. He started the restaurant, little Fogo de Chao up there.
Yeah. That's
your jam?
Why don't they have Fogo de Chao in Ukraine, Moses?
I don't know.
Or do they?
They very well could. We haven't really looked into it, have we? You've been ordering pizzas, I think.
Yeah. Yeah, that's sadly true. Well then, 5-3. About to move into the 9th round. Looks like it could be a very quick hit here towards the A bomb site. So back to the basics for Renegades. This has worked out for them in the past, so why not try it again? The aggression has really been the key for them on the previous map as well. There's Steel taking one and Twist picking it up with a big double kill. And Naf closing out all the rest of the kills. So they tried, but they just got completely isolated. They just got pinned in all across the map.
They got drowned by utility usage as soon as Liquid saw the smokes and the Molotovs coming out and saw the presence coming up A ramp, because Renegades tried to catch them in kind of a transition to get set up in the defense. They tried to just kind of pop up A ramp and find some players in the open, and since it didn't happen, they had to deploy their utility late. But meanwhile, I mean, the screen we were watching was, this is the previous round, was Elige just bombing flashbangs into the air, bombing Molotovs in towards Palace, making sure that if the execute on A still does go through from Renegades, that no one has to worry about any player coming out of Palace. That was his responsibility. Nailed it perfectly, and the flashbangs really slowed down the rest of the hit. We do have a tactical timeout from Renegades.
Or a technical one, I think.
I think it's a little bit of both.
Yeah, I think they couldn't talk to their coach for a minute.
Yeah,
so.
the coach was muted, so it's going to take they're going to get a little extra time. But obviously, Kasada wanted to talk things over because that execute was just kind of a disaster. And now you're at a point where Elige has 15,000, Nitro has 14,000, Steel has 10,000.
I think it comes back to the thing that we were talking about, because they can flash their way through the initial smoke on the ramp.
Yeah.
But then they still have to cover a lot of distance, right? Like then it's not like on Cash where they flash their way through the smoke and then they're in the fight. Like they flash their way through, then they take up a new position, and then they have to sort of wait there and bait up a fight. Like it's hard to run all across the A bomb site to try and get the fight against the people on Connector on Jungle. It's like people don't normally do that and get away with it.
Well, I think it's part of the risk of that kind of a play is when you pop up a ramp like that, you want the fights to be like immediate, and when it's not, when you don't have that success right off the bat, like killing that player at triple or killing a player inside the bomb site, then you have to slow things down and find cover and throw the smokes towards CT spawn, towards jungle, towards stairwell, because then you actually have to cross into the site and get in their face. And if you don't have the utility in the other choke points, that makes that kind of impossible.
Double Galil, AKs on the rest, and still that AWP on Nitro. So Liquid now winning 6 rounds in a row. And we've been saying surviving with so many people all the time, and that's really great. Just a tag from the window, that AK-47 Unleash, and then the AWP follow-up. Pretty hard to deal with.
Yeah, the old bait and switch. Really nice job from Elige taking the aggro.
Oh.
The timing of this play. All right, Elige. This is awkward. Well,
I mean,
what can you say about that one?
Could have gone either way, but unfortunately for Azza, he was slightly looking the wrong way. Can't really blame him for it, unfortunately. So, just some random timing there. Stilo goes down. Twist gets the perfect timing on him as well. And Nifty and JKS now 2 versus 5. They must have just an enormous amount of money going into round number 11 here. If they don't lose anyone really here, it's going to get out of control, isn't it?
They're going to have 2 players at 16K after this round if they don't die. Now Nitro's at 11 HP, so he's one of the ones that could be there. Molotov's out, Naf's going to bail him out, and could get a second one. Nitro just trying to occupy that. Nade's going to do the trick. Nitro does go down, but yeah, they're going to be, they're so rich. It's unreal. 7-3, and it's 7 straight.
That's a huge bank that they have to deal with. Very tricky for Renegades. And I also feel like now, I don't know, what do you want to see out of them, Moses? What's the play that they can make here that hasn't been tested yet?
I think they need to go back to mid control. I don't think you're going to win too much, even if you just do like a straight up A execute, which it looks like what they're going to do because there's just so much utility. But the positive thing for Renegades is they're calling this at a very good time in terms of the strategy that Liquid is called, because their attention is obviously on mid. It's only Nitro here. He's got to play retake, and that's a good adjustment to pick one out of the sky. But JKS is going to salvage an AWP towards CT spawn. He cannot recover in time, and a couple follow-up kills as well. This is a completely different Liquid than what we saw on Cash. They're looking good. Azza, the last one left, and getting flanked out, although they do a good job of getting 3 kills, so they're starting, they do eat into that money just a little bit.
Yeah, oddly enough, in a round where they had next to nothing in the beginning, they actually have an impact.
Yeah, it's like I said, though, it's mostly due to the benefit of calling that kind of A hit when there's only 1 player in CT spawn and Liquid is going for aggressive mid control. There's
a place on this map where you actually can go for that kind of rush and get close and not get completely sort of choke pointed at the B hallways. If you smoke window and connector and rush catwalk.
Yeah, we really haven't seen any fast, aggressive plays in mid. Although, to be fair, like every time they've gone mid, maybe they're just trying to shy away from it because Elige has wrecked him a couple times when they've gone mid. Naf had that aggression towards top mid that was successful. And Nitro's got a couple picks with the AWP from Catwalk. So they've ran into a couple nightmares in mid, and maybe that's why they want to go away from it. But I almost feel like they just kind of have to go back to it and they just need to, as silly as this sounds, just need to do better. Like, you have to be able to control mid at some point. You have to be able to prove that you can get it and hold it without taking losses of, 2 to 3 players.
Yeah, I feel like that's probably a good idea. Nifty has got an AWP finally in the hands again, so maybe that could be a path to a little bit of success.
Yeah, but Liquid's going to see that up and raise you one. Twist is going to pick a second up for the team. So switching things up. New look defense.
That might be very annoying.
It didn't work out too well for him on Cash.
No, but I feel like Cash just wasn't Liquid's map at all. That's how do you even explain that to your teammates? How did you die? I was practically on the corner of T spawn and they just ran me down.
Yep. Well, the cool thing about it from Team Liquid is that they didn't even throw a flashbang. Like, they didn't telegraph they were doing that at all. It was just literally a straight-up rush. So a lot of confidence coming out for Team Liquid behind this 8 rounds they've won straight. And this is also, I mean, what this double op setup is allowing is, well, there's an op going to be at A and CT spawn on the stairs, but Nitro has an op in the B tunnels, and the fact that he sees absolutely nothing, Elysia is now going to push up those stairs just in case. But they can have a very mobile defense, and they are kind of misreading the situation, though. They've got a lot of players towards the B side of the map. There's a chance here for Renegades to get a couple kills and get into this A site.
A very variable defense as well, because this time Steel is holding in a position that he hasn't really been occupying before. They're all focused on CT spawn and jungle and everywhere else, and Steel is going to get an easy kill. No chance at all. They can't even communicate in time, you could tell. As just, I mean, they're just everywhere.
At that point, they didn't have the manpower to clear out the bomb site. So this is obviously going very, very well for Team Liquid. This is turning into a real stomping.
How's it going for Renegades, Moses?
I can't imagine it being too much worse.
Yeah, that's true. They've, you know, it's hard to imagine that they found rock bottom at this point. So can only go on. Tactical timeout being called by them. 9-3.
At this point, you just use them, because if you don't get rounds on the board in this first half, if you don't get one, like, you need to get like maybe 2 of these last 3 rounds, and if you don't, you're not even really going to get a chance to use timeouts in the second half.
My feeling has been, watching Cash and watching the beginning of this map, that Renegades sort of perform better when they can sort of initiate a lot of chaos and then just sort of, you know, roll onto a site. And you know, it's all chaos. And I feel like Liquid have just found the solution to that now. Like, they just know how to stop that. And Renegades have not found, like, there doesn't seem to be like a second layer to this where they can sort of say, okay, well, now that that's done, what do we do?
Renegade's going to fall into another A hit. Maybe thinking back to that half buy they had where they got into the site, got the plant down. There's going to be more Liquid here at A, though, to mount a defense. Elysia just checking mid, making sure his back is secure, because they have an AWP and CT spawn on Twist, so they can kind of rely on him to stay alive, just take a shot, maybe get a pick, and just live. Renegades might have to re-execute, though. I mean, these smokes are going to disappear pretty soon. They only have 2 smokes left. There they go. So set up the wall again, but Twist is allowed an opportunity. With 1 miss, he's just going to fall away, make sure he can hold on to CT spawn. Naf surely will join up with him.
Oh, no. Shooting at your teammates, Nitro. He was fired up behind that, but got to be a little bit worried. Twist holding the CT spawn. This is actually very smart. Naf is going to be coming around the corner. Gets the shot even if he's halfway flashed, and you're still out. Barely gets a double kill. Down to 19 health, and he couldn't stand for the 3rd one. There's a bit of a spray from Elysia. Almost could have taken down JKS as well. I feel like Renegades had the right idea. They had the right movement, but they don't get the bomb plant just yet. And how does JKS possibly hope to win this 1 versus 2? Oh, yeah, there's the bomb. But as soon as he plants, surely 1 grenade from Steel could be it. That'd be the round.
He still doesn't have the angle quite yet to throw that. So JKS, he's going to try and thin this out and do a 1-on-1. No one's available. Steel and Nitro have done a very good job of meeting up and getting together. 20 seconds. And JKS is actually going to make his way over towards the B bomb site. And he's going to have to make a step. 10 seconds. He's going to have to start running, but he's got to win that fight first, and he couldn't even do that. Steal that internal clock, letting him know that it's a possibility for JKS to get behind him.
This was a round where they got close to jungle and CT spawn, so they were able to take some of those close fights. But you could tell, I mean, I think a good indication there was Naf and Nitro defending CT spawn. Like, that's Renegades want to force that fight so that they can win it and fully get control of CT spawn while the bomb is going down. And that never happens. Like, they never get that control. I feel like they had the right idea, I think, and they almost had it working, but it just wasn't quite enough. That's
just good theory and all, from Liquid. And if you're an A defender, maybe think about doing something similar, especially if you... Oh, wow, Steel gets caught out. Molotov going to come out just to prevent them from rushing into the site. They're going to take a lot of damage to do it. Oh, no, not too much. The smoke extinguishes the Molotov. I think Naf's been spotted out, so here's a good round from Renegades. Surely they can turn this one into a victory. They have recovered an AK-47. No reason not to go for this for Team Liquid. 2 rounds left, and you have plenty of money.
Yeah, Twist is going to be a 1 kill. They really only have 1 AK, so... Oh, great flank here. Nifty walking into the back. Needs to kill quick, otherwise the retake could be working. There's one. Great job on Nifty. That pretty much secures this deal. Trying to see if he could tap the bomb, but Nifty's got such a good position. Doesn't have any armor, though, and he's maybe a little bit too aggressive. Didn't realize that that was a fake and a liege. Now with the triple. That's such a shame. I feel like he did everything right in that position, but just towards the end, got locked out.
Both the flankers having massive success. I think Elige caught them off guard as well when he retook that bomb site, so that sucks. that one is the real kicker, isn't it?
11-3, Moses.
11 straight is the big thing.
Yeah, this is out of control.
And there's never been any problems with money. That was the closest round, I think, of this entire half once the guns came out.
Yeah, out of those 11 rounds, they've had 3 bomb plants. So, but a bunch of rounds where they've just been
locked out. 2 of them
out.
were on force buys.
Okay, the more we explain it, the worse it gets, I feel like.
A good kill from Nitro. He's going to go back for more, isn't he? He's feeling it. Oh, I thought he was going to get that through the smoke. Elige is in connector as well to make sure they can't just run through that smoke and get close up to Nitro and surprise him. Naf is here as well. I think they boosted him up. Mid control has not been kind to Renegades, as Liquid has done a phenomenal job denying them access to that portion of the map. And really denying them access to pretty much everywhere on the map.
I feel like Naf is just he's having too much fun playing this first half right now. You can just tell that he's all over the place. Nitro will go down. That's a great shot from Ustillo. The kind of opening you want if you're going to try and get back into the bomb is still circulating around T-spawn, slowly making its way towards the A side. And they have good positions to open up the A bomb side, I think.
I mean, the question becomes, how does Steel play this? Does he want to stay on the bomb site? Because now that they don't have eyes on mid, he could either push up B or almost you feel like he could push up Catwalk. Naf is going to meet up with him. So entrusting the A bomb site over to Twist to at least get 1 kill if that's where Renegades heads. But they're really feeling like this is going to end up at the B bomb site, and it doesn't look like they're going to be wrong.
No. It's so unfortunate for Renegades. They've been very patient, hoping for somebody to make a move. Now, Azure is moving in on the other side towards jungle, so if they can just get the bomb down, then they're going to be in a perfect position. Azure all the way now as they move in. 10 seconds left, making a bit of noise. There's JKS down. Ustillo gets 1 more in return for the triple. He's picked up the bomb as well, trying to see if he can get that plant down with 2 seconds left. Oh, no, Moses. Of all the ways you could end up losing that last round, is running out of time and no chance to not plant that bomb. That's 12 rounds in a row.
It took him a long time to make that decision.
Yeah.
To end up at the B bomb site. And obviously a really good read, a really good call for Team Liquid to have both rifles at B. The op just playing very passively in CT spawn. What a half.
Yeah. It's been like a wild roller coaster ride, all these 3 maps. But now for Renegades, it's like the roller coasters, they ran out of tracks. And now it's just gone straight into the ground.
Once again, you've gone dark.
Yeah.
It always gets there in the end.
All the park guests, all of them dead. No insurance company is going to be able to help you recover.
Jesus Christ.
No Christmas bonuses for anybody.
Oh, bless it. Bless your heart. 12-3. That's with Renegades winning the pistol and the ensuing 2 rounds. 17 kills on Naf against his former opponents. Steel at 15, Elige at 13. Twist and Nitro, the two ops, were quiet. It was the rifles doing all the work. That was, you could see there, 5-1 in op kills for the magnificent Van Dulken.
Yeah, I mean, Renegades they've got some kills scattered across the board. It's not like they're not doing anything, but it's just, I don't know. Liquid have just been out of control here. Really not what I was expecting. I have to say I thought it would be much closer than this. Deep smoke landing all the way towards Catwalk, making sure that maybe they can try and go for some sort of mid play early on here. That Molotov, maybe not what they were expecting, I think.
No, they wanted it in window room, didn't they, to prevent any kind of peek, but no one was there. Ozza's going to swing out wide. There comes the flashbang. He's completely blinded. He's completely destroyed. Nifty is underneath the balcony. He's surely going to go down. No, he gets double kill with headshots, and Naf now coming out. Still, he's alive somehow. Nifty is almost unkillable, and Liquid that take him so long to get control of this site that they might just be put out of this.
Oh, that's a stunning shot from Ustillo. I thought he was going to get trapped reloading in that corner, but somehow Renegades turn it around, and they win another pistol round. So, could be a ticket right here to getting 6 rounds on the board, Moses. Don't laugh.
It could be. What did I say before the start? 16-5?
Yeah, I think you did.
Pretty close.
Yeah, maybe.
Maybe.
Don't wanna count them out early, Moses.
That's a good point.
A lot of deagles.
Lot of deagles.
All the deagles. Like I was saying earlier, you should obviously we'll dual wield the deagles, you know.
That'd just be insanity. Well, that's a good start. Elige finding that. Where's that from? Oh, it's from Palace over towards Jungle, so gets caught out, and ooh, Elige is able to get away. He does tag Nifty, and at this point, these deagles just so dangerous with the tags, although Twist isn't able to find one almost, but I think JKS was doing just enough for the aim punch. All this attention towards the A bomb site, though, and 2 defenders there has allowed some semblance of mid-control. Jacob's going to peek out wider, but he thinks better of it. If he's to fall here, that would be tough to recover from.
Nav spots him out. Still going to be going down. No armor, so you're absolutely right about the aim punch. Always a big issue. And looks like they've managed to stabilize a bit here, Renegades. So scary when the first person goes down in the round. It's a deagle shot, and you just think, oh man, there's still 1 minute and 30 seconds, and
yeah,
this could happen again. You're still a great position with the UMP. Just sound play coming out of him. He's really stepping it up the last couple of rounds here. That's a 12-5 scoreline now. Yeah, he's actually leading the board for his side. Ustillo is.
Ustillo. Yeah, he's had some good maps here. He's great. He was good on train to start things out. Ozza at 10 and 14, not far behind, just 1 kill behind. 12-5. No real investment from Team Liquid. So 16-5 isn't looking likely.
No, it's hard to imagine that it's going to happen, but we've seen worse.
That Molotov is well-timed because Liquid really wanted to hit that, and by the time they're able to, Ozza will be on the flank. Thought Nifty would be coming up catwalk, but he still is in a great spot to spray a couple down. He gets traded immediately. They'll at least get a bomb plant out of this, which is super nice. It'll help them recoup the losses from the deagles. And here comes the retake. Ozza's going to have a very fast flank. I don't think they're going to be ready for this timing either.
No, you have to think that they won't. Big grenade there with no armor on Steel. He takes a lot of damage, and Asa struggling a little bit to pick up the kill, but the grenades and the M4 JKS will pretty much do the rest here as Jacob does go down. It's all done. They lose a couple of players, and they give up the 1 punch. So you got to think that's still a pretty big successful Liquid, but wasn't enough to win the round.
Yeah, I think they really needed that bomb plant to kind of help out with the extra $800 because they bought up some pistols and utility that round, because they bought the deagles in the previous one. So that extra $800 is going to be quite kind to them. Nitro can get the AWP if he wants it out in the 4th round.
It's questionable. It's going to be AWP, no head armor, right? So I don't know.
Doesn't want it. Double up set up on the CT side, though, to start things out. They're not messing around whatsoever.
Quick in the middle. Jumping down alone, in fact, always a bit scary when you end up in that position, but Nifty just taking up position with the AWP, and Molotov went somewhere else.
I'm not entirely sure where that went. I didn't catch it. Either way, Liquid falling back to hit this A bomb site. Here it comes. Utility being used. Molotov is pretty well timed, all things considered. Twist is going to take a decent amount of damage, down to about half HP. They're doing the same thing. Smokes are covering Connector and Jungle. That's 3 players from Renegades on the other side of the smoke, on the wrong side of the smoke. So Liquid should get a plant out of this.
A good beginning. Very open bomb plant. Now, the one thing is they don't have any more grenades. Nitro will pick up one, but the trade is in. Nitro again, getting the triple headshot, taking down Azzer, and that is a big problem for Renegades. They needed that. They needed to keep it going, but they just get shut out of it. Nitro crouching and spraying through that window, and he's going to be falling down, ready to look for the exit kills here, or the closing kills, I assume. Justillo running. JKS sticking around. Ooh, interesting. Could have maybe got a shot in the back of Naf, but you never know how big of a risk that's going to be.
Nitro wants this kill. He's going to find it. That's actually huge. There is not a lot of money on this Renegades side. 3 players sitting right around 2,000. So that final kill onto the AWP was massive in terms of what they can bring forward in this next round. All they have these AK-47. If you're Renegades, this is a tough call. And remember,
5.
they used...
I'm going for it. 5.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. All right, there we go.
Yeah.
They listened.
Yeah.
All right. Well, I mean, they don't have a whole lot of options. And remember as well, because they got so battered in the first half, they used 3 of their 4 timeouts. So if you're going to make this comeback, you don't want to use that last timeout too early in this half. So 50 on the AWP has it towards A, aggressively peering down A ramp. JKS peering up towards Palace, and Azza at the top of Connector.
Yeah, I like the setup. I think when you bring the AWP this far forward and this close range, there's always a chance that people sort of just aren't expecting it. You know, internally in their mind, they're thinking, if I'm going to fight the AWP, it's probably going to be by CT spawn, where it is like 90% of the time. So, yeah.
On the other hand, there's not a single set of eyes on middle, which is allowing Steel Legion Twist to walk the entire way.
Oh, dear.
And they're not even going to be spotted until JKS sees him, where he's going to be out in the open. He's already dead. There goes Nifty, and there goes Azza. So I'm glad you like that setup.
Yeah.
Like, it is perfect that you said that right before that sequence. It was good.
It's just beautiful, isn't it? I mean, obviously, when we go and play the DreamHack Open, Moses, I won't be calling the strategies.
I mean, in all seriousness, that's not necessarily like a bad setup. It's just unfortunate. Like, Liquid had the perfect counter to it, right? Which was just walking up Connector with a contact play and making no indication you're coming. In another world, if that's more of an execute towards the A bomb site, perhaps that goes far better for Renegades. But essentially, at this point in the game, with the money the way it was,
they are just ruthless, aren't they?
Yeah.
They just don't care anymore. Ready to get up all the kills. Liquid. It seems inevitable that they're going to be able to pick up this this last map in the series and take the series overall. We are on the 3rd map, but I mean this. I don't know, like Renegades. Yeah, they seem a little bit out of it.
Yeah, I mean they never really got a good feel for that T side. And it's not an easy thing to recover from when you lose, 12 rounds straight, 12 gun rounds straight on your T side, even on Mirage. So, yeah, very, very tough. And this has been, I mean, I think the more important thing is not so much focus on the Renegades aspect of being out of it, but how well Liquid has played this game so far.
Yeah. But it's almost, I almost feel like it's slightly worse, the fact that you win both the pistol rounds. So, you get the you get the 6 rounds. That's normally what we sort of try and explain to people is a situation where you're doing good. Like, that's it. You're well on your way to winning the map, and then that's all you get. Really shocking. Now, about to be 15. That is map and a series point for Team Liquid.
Yes. Both of these teams coming into today 0-1 in the Swiss system. Liquid, obviously, 9 opportunities to win this series.
Obviously, our panelists are going to be... it's going to be, Yanko defending Kassad, and it's going to be Chad defending his whole team.
No, Chad did call 2-0 for Team Liquid.
Did he?
At the beginning of the series.
What traitor. It's going to get wrecked either way, wasn't it?
Reasonable. 15-6.
Yeah, just overall, I mean, Is it what do we blame this on? Is it the depth of the map pool for Renegades? Is it just the fact that they've got Jay come in, things are a bit weird, they don't have the strength on as many maps as they want for a best of 3?
I think it's probably a combination of all of it. I think the real issue, I mean, this is a good map for Liquid. I think the real issue is they kind of squander that lead on train. Like, if you think about it, they had a very good, that is a great adjustment from Nafly. But they had a very good start on train, and they had some very cool stuff, and if they're able to close that out and then play cash the way they did, maybe the series goes in their favor 2-0. But once you get to Mirage, Liquid's so strong on this map. Despite the loss they took to Astralis yesterday, which was like a stomping in its own right. It was, 16-4 or something crazy like that. Liquid's still solid on this map. So as you can see here, able to run that one back. And you also hit a series where, I mean, if you look at the players for Liquid, the people who were kind of going off, Twist, Elige, Naf, like even Nitro having some big rounds, these are the guys you expect to kind of carry you through, and those are kind of the stars of your team. So it's not an easy team Liquid to really beat when they're hitting this kind of level.
The thing is, when you see Naf just sort of, what's the word? He's sort of strolling across the stage, like lumbering across the stage in a very casual manner. Like, you see him in the server, and he just bounces into bomb sites and just shoots people at every angle. Like, you obviously have to play at a level where he at least doesn't feel comfortable enough to do that. Like, because it almost seems like it's sort of a reinforcing mechanism for him. He just, once it happens a couple of times, he's like, all right, well then we're just going to keep doing this, and they couldn't stop him. Like,
no, it is funny. Naf does like always look like he has something else he'd rather be doing.
Maybe that's why he finishes so quick. He was like, I'm behind on my favorite show. I've got to go back to watch some Netflix. So let's just get this out of the way.
He's like, oh man, these delays. I had a nap scheduled for 4 o'clock. This is a bummer.
No, what a mad performance coming out of all of Team Liquid. Some bumps in the road. Great to see Renegades do so well on cash. It's just like I said, it seemed like they didn't have that depth on all 3 maps. Which is, I mean, that happens to a lot of teams, right?
And also, it's a shame that it's cash because, like we said when we were talking about that map, not a lot of teams play it, so you're not going to get too many opportunities to have that, especially after showing that against Team Liquid. I think most people are just going to say, all right, we'll take it away.
Probably will be happening. That's the end of the series. Now, we've got 2 more best of 3s coming up on both streams, I think. So
we do.
It's going to be super exciting. Some really, really good games in there.
Did Virtus Pro end up winning?
I feel like they were far ahead when I was looking. So
I'd like a VP update. B-stream update. I'm going to steal that from Chad. Sorry, Chad. It's
overtime.
tied. It's overtime on the 3rd map.
On Nuke as well.
So I would head over there.
Yeah, definitely. Nuke's amazing. You should definitely do that. We are going to go to a break. When we come back, we're going to have a full breakdown of the match that we just saw. So stay with us, and we'll be right back.